The cream has separated from the crop. We welcome you to Bryan. It is officially called Field Number 5, but it is the second round of the Ohio High School Athletic Association sectional playoffs, as it will be Ayersville taking on Montpelier. The winner advances to the end of this week, and a Friday game, the loser packs up their gear until next season. Brent Balbadon saying thank you for joining us on DCTV. We will be joined by Scoop Miller in just a moment. First pitch is just around the corner as our Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is underway. We've been doing a new feature during baseball and softball season for the player profile. Finally, we now have playable weather, so we call it From the Backstop to the Warning Track. We took a walk last week with senior shortstop Taylor Waldron. Unfortunately, that game got rained out. Tonight, we will be talking to Laura Paul, but what we're going to do is actually run as an encore Taylor Waldron's pregame interview as well as Laura Paul's. Two young ladies, seniors, who have represented not just the softball program, but Ayersville High School with great distinction. We'll hear from both of them. We'll start with Taylor Waldron when we come back. Don't you go anywhere. The Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues right after this on DCTV Sports. We welcome you back. The Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show gets underway. It is time. There's the old phrase, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. The postseason is here, and Ayersville is ready for it as they'll be taking on Antwerp. Time to do another player profile. Now, if you are new to this, that's okay, because this is new, something we have never done before, and she is the very first. She has the honor of being the very first player profile to do our backstop to the warning track interview. This is Taylor Waldron, senior standout for the Pilots. How are you, ma'am?
I'm great. How are you?
You are great. And you're going to be even greater when we get done with these. Okay. You ready to walk and talk?
Yes, ready.
All right, let's do it. We're going to learn a little bit more about what makes this young lady tick and how she makes a great contribution to a fantastic Ayersville team this season. So let's start with the obvious, okay? It's your senior year.
Yes.
It can get a little sentimental sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Last time we're going to do this, last time I'm going to spend time with my teammates here, last bus ride I take. It can get overwhelming sometimes. But have you been able to keep that at arm's length, so to speak, and focus on the task at hand? How are you handling it?
I would say that. I would say I definitely been able to keep it in check a little bit. I'm not super sentimental until the end of the year usually. I don't really see it coming until it gets to tournament time. So I really enjoyed this year. We got along great. Our team has really had a lot of chemistry this year, and I've really had a lot of fun. It's probably one of my favorite years.
As we're walking across the infield here, I want you to go into a four-wheel drive trip down memory lane for me.
Okay.
First time you set foot on this field, you told me it was as a freshman,
yes,
is that correct?
Freshman.
Walk me through it. What was it like?
So I was playing third base, and third base is the hot corner, obviously, and I was a little scared. I definitely was very nervous. Right now I play shortstop, so I enjoy shortstop a lot more than I enjoyed third base. I was definitely super nervous. I know definitely with my batting. My fielding, usually I'm super confident, more confident as the year goes on, obviously. But the first
How'd you do in that game?
It was definitely, I can see myself definitely making a couple errors, but I think at the end of the game, I definitely figured it out by then. So
let me ask you this then. Now we flash forward to this season.
Yes.
How is senior Taylor Waldron different than freshman Taylor Waldron?
Definitely a lot more confident. I definitely lacked a lot of confidence. Sometimes now I can see I make an error, I lose my confidence a little bit, but I've definitely gotten a lot better with the confidence aspects of the game.
So I was the type, and I didn't kick it around a lot, but if I did, there's one of two ways you can go in that situation. You know, you see a player put their hands on their head and they start to shrink. Usually that's when the ball finds you immediately again.
Yes.
There's an old phrase, the ball finds you.
Yes.
Or there are those that refocus and they want the ball to be hit at them the next time. You're saying you're now that player compared to 4 years ago.
Before that, I was definitely a little nervous if the ball gets hit to me again. I feel the game on my shoulders. Now I'm it's not a big deal. You know, I make an error, next one.
So let's talk a little bit about, I don't want to call it the sibling rivalry, but younger sister Kendra is a standout pitcher, multi-sport athlete.
Oh yeah.
I got, for the first time, to see you two, unfortunately, in the game that got washed for us. We had to strike the equipment because it was raining heavy against Denora. But I noticed just kind of an interesting dynamic. You're a senior, she's a sophomore.
Yes.
First, honest question.
Okay.
What's it like playing with your sibling on the same roster?
Okay. It's definitely fun. Most people would be like, it's a little frustrating sometimes, and it definitely was in years past. This year has been a lot better, I would say. I really enjoyed this year. We've gotten a lot closer this year. Even in volleyball, I enjoyed it more this year. It was a little like, it wasn't competitive, I would say, but it was a little like back and forth, maybe a couple arguments here and there, but we got over it pretty quick, I'd say.
So I'm going to ask you a little bit deeper question now.
Okay.
That's what it's like from the outside looking in.
Yes.
From the inside looking out. How competitive are you with each other? Is there a sibling
Okay.
rivalry? What's it like?
Well, I'm not as competitive as her, I would say. I won't lie. She is just extremely competitive, but I am also extremely competitive. I feel like I know when to focus more, but obviously this year I feel like we're on the same page. We're both competitive towards the right thing, and not against each other,
Okay.
I'd say.
Did that change? And if so, did you notice when that changed?
I would say the past year, like last year, it wasn't bad at all. Especially in softball, maybe volleyball a little more, but softball has been great, honestly. But definitely changed a little bit this year. It's been a little more focused and a little better.
I kind of get the feeling, and I've had this conversation with multiple athletes who also have siblings.
Yes.
I can say whatever I want to about my sister, but you
Yeah,
better
you
not say
can't
anything about her,
anything
right?
about her, yes.
So only you get to beat on her pretty
Yes,
much then,
a
right?
little bit, yeah, I'd say that.
A little more supportive now though, right?
Yeah, definitely more supportive.
You mentioned volleyball.
Yes.
You are a multi-sport athlete.
Yes.
How many other sports do you play?
So I just play softball and volleyball.
Okay. And with that said, you are a student athlete.
Yes.
So you got to crack a book, got to stay eligible to
Yes.
stay in that uniform. What's the grade point average for you?
I have a 4.0 right now. A little
4.0.
over with my college classes, but 4.0.
What about other activities or groups? Are you involved in anything outside of sports?
Right now I'm not involved in too much. Senior year I kind of wanted to chill a little bit and take it easy. But last year I've been in like a couple clubs, like I was in SAD, I'm in NHS, National Honor
Okay.
Society.
At 4.0, you'd better be, right?
Yeah, I know so.
What about plans for the future? Now, volleyball seems to be your sport of preference. It's
Yes.
a sport that's going to pay for your education.
Yes.
You accepted a scholarship to Defiance College,
Yes, I
correct?
did.
Walk us through your recruiting process. Who all was involved and why you eventually chose DC?
Okay, so I looked at a couple colleges. I looked at Trine. I looked at Defiance College. I didn't really look anywhere else. I emailed some coaches. I got back with them, and I just wasn't really interested in moving super far away. Like they're both. Trine is within an hour away. Defiance is right here, obviously. I would stay at home and I'm gonna commute. I ended up deciding on Defiance College, and that's where I'm gonna go.
Any
It
idea
wasn't
what-
super
Not
long
too tough?
process, yeah.
It doesn't have to be hard,
Yeah,
does it?
it was pretty easy.
Any idea what your area of study or your major is going to be?
Yes, so I'm double majoring in math and math education.
So if you apply that, if I come back and do another interview with you in, say, 10 years,
Yes.
what's Taylor Waldron going to be doing?
I'm going to be a teacher, I hope.
Okay.
High school math teacher.
The bug's still with you, volleyball or softball? Do you see staying involved in sports or maybe as a coach
Yes,
some way?
I would love to coach. I really enjoy like being around a team, so I think it would be fun.
Okay. Well, we don't have to graduate her just yet. She's still a pilot. Let's keep walking here.
Yes.
The sentimentality of the senior season. I asked you
Yes.
about that earlier when we started. When it hits, does it hit hard or are you able to kind of compartmentalize it?
For volleyball, I definitely was very upset. I mean, we had a successful season, district champs, and so it was a very exciting season. So it was very upsetting for it to come to an end. We had a great team. Same thing with softball. Like, we all get along very well, and I've loved this season so far, and so I'm definitely going to be very upset when it ends, and especially with my sister. We definitely will be crying a little bit. I see Kendra crying, I cry. Same way for her.
So Kendra, don't you turn on the waterworks
Yeah,
just yet
I
because the
know.
season isn't over
Yes.
with. In all seriousness, it's going to be Antwerp.
Yes.
You are familiar with them. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, you beat them
Yes.
7-1 about a month ago.
Yep.
How much does it help or does it make a difference knowing that you're familiar with the opponent?
I do like being familiar with the opponent, definitely. So we faced their pitcher. I'm assuming it was their best pitcher since we played a GMC game, obviously. So I love being able to see the pitcher before. You know what to expect. We can game plan. We can talk about what they're going to do, their at-bats, their players. It's really nice to be able to talk about it and strategize.
How much time do you put in as far as pre-game?
We talk about it a lot. I mean, there's, especially Aubrey Florence, our coach, she'll have like a whole entire paper about where she's going to throw people, what she's going to throw, what do not throw. And so definitely the coaches talk to us about it a little bit. And so I like that.
So speaking of talking about it, you want to stay in a pilot uniform as long as possible.
Yes.
As the team, have the coaches openly talked about goals, what you expect out of yourselves now that the postseason's here?
Yes, we talked about at the beginning of the year, where obviously everyone's goal is to go state. Everyone's goal is to go state. We talk about it frequently, I'd say. We joke about it, but I think it's a serious not topic, but serious that where we can go. We can go somewhere far this year. We have a great team. We are able to do it.
So the expectations, the bar is high.
Oh yeah.
All
I feel
the
like
way.
You said it high.
All the way.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a little bit of a left turn here.
Okay.
This is what we call rapid fire favorites.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready? This is where we get to know the real Taylor, at least a little bit. She's going to give you a
It might
taste
take you
here.
a minute.
No problem. There's no wrong answer here,
Yeah,
though. That's the
yeah.
reason we do this.
Yep.
All right, favorite. Let's start with something semi-serious. Favorite memory at Ayersville High School, whether it's as an athlete or just a student.
Okay. My favorite memory is definitely winning district champs for volleyball.
Okay.
This year for softball, it would be beating Edgerton so far, so I'm excited to get
So potentially her favorite memory is still yet to come a few games down the road.
Yes.
All right, we'll make this a little bit easier here for you. Favorite food?
This is not easy. I'm not a very decisive. I like all food. I'm gonna say ice cream.
Ice cream?
I'm a big ice cream fan.
What flavor?
Ooh, I'm plain. I'm vanilla, but I like sundaes and things like that.
So you can jazz it up a little
Yeah,
bit. A little
jazz
hot
it
fudge,
up.
strawberries,
Yep.
some nuts. Okay.
Yep.
See, that's why we're digging deeper
Yeah.
with the rapid fire
That's-
favorites here.
yes.
Favorite music or artist?
Favorite music? Oh, I really like Chris Stapleton right now. I'm a big country fan.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Any other types? You're just a straight country girl.
I like some of the old stuff, some Eminem, some stuff like that.
Okay. Now I
Kinda
was thinking
fun.
she was going to say old country. No,
Yeah,
she went
I'm
completely
a
hard left on
I'm a
me
little
there.
everywhere.
Okay. Favorite sports team?
Favorite sports team? I don't watch sports that much, honestly. I know
Okay.
that's weird. I don't know. Let's say Guardians.
Okay, going baseball.
Yeah,
We're
let's
in
go
baseball
baseball.
season. All right. Favorite
attention to them most.
favorite dream car. What would your dream car be?
Ford Bronco.
Really?
Yeah.
Go off-roading a little bit, or you just
Maybe,
think it
I
looks
guess
tough
so.
driving down the street in a
Looks a little
4x4?
tough, I feel like.
Okay. Okay, I got to ask this one because I was
Uh-oh.
told this one might stump her a little bit.
I know.
Peanut butter, chunky or creamy?
Oh, okay. It depends. It depends.
She's
let's
got to
say chunky.
commit. We got to get you to
Let's say-
commit.
Let's say chunky.
You keep multiple jars in the house then, just depending on what you're feeling?
Well, usually it's whatever my mom buys, but I obviously like chunky. I need to tell her to get some.
Okay, so Mom, there you go. Chunky is quietly her favorite.
Yes.
As we walk our way back to the backstop here, we're coming full circle. Maybe somewhat ironic, maybe somewhat not. I asked you what the dream job would be. You potentially envision yourself here maybe 5-10 years from now,
Yeah.
potentially teaching back at your alma mater, maybe
that would be
coaching.
fun.
But let me ask you this, from a personal standpoint. What do you want your legacy to be? If somebody asks about Taylor Waldron, how would you like them to speak about you?
I would like them to say I was nice. I really stress that in my life. I try to be kind to everyone, and I want people to feel comfortable coming up and talking to me and feel that I'm approachable.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah, pretty simple.
Do unto others. Well, your season's not done yet.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the postseason gets underway tonight as they welcome Antwerp. Thanks for making the walk with us, and good
Yes.
luck to you.
Thank you so much.
We're going to take a quick time out. We are back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports. We welcome you back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. Brent Balpinot saying thank you for joining us on DCTV Sports. If you are seeing our interview with senior Laura Paul, that means the Pilots have won and they have advanced to the next round of the playoffs. So with that said, you ready to do a little walking and talking with us?
Oh, for sure.
For sure. We love her energy. Let's start it off. All right, so a senior here, 5'5". I'm looking at your stats this season, hitting .247. However, you lead the team in hit by pitches with 3.
Yep.
Are you the toughest on the team, or have you just had really bad luck?
Probably both. I get the one. I think all those are from one game.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Which game?
Kaleida.
So what happened? You were just crowding the plate, or the pitcher didn't like you? What
I don't know.
happened?
She threw it for my face a couple times, so I don't know if she just didn't like me or what.
Okay, well, now you've got that as a proud badge to wear.
Oh, yeah.
Toughest player on the team, right? Let's talk a little bit about your senior year, your senior season. There is an old phrase, the days are long, but the seasons are short.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, your senior year is here. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked your teammate, Taylor Waldron. Is it sentimental? Has it hit you yet? Or are you keeping it in its proper place and staying focused on winning?
It's kind of starting to hit me towards tournament season, but I kind of just push it off and we'll just deal with it later and keep focused on this task that's in hand.
Coach talked to me about you earlier this year. I asked him, I said, who is your most improved player? And he didn't hesitate. He said you. He said you didn't get a lot of playing time last year, but you really worked in the off season to make his decision for him.
Yeah.
What was your motivation last year to this year?
To get to the spot I wanted, I love third base, and that's what I've been doing, and I just really wanted it, so I took it and ran with it.
What areas of your game were you working on to improve?
Fielding, I was a decent fielder, but I wasn't great, and then my hitting, it went down, and then it's finally coming back up.
Okay. Was it all motivation, or was it personal for you as well? How did you balance the off season versus knowing, gosh, it's a whole year? Some kids would probably say, I'll get to it later.
Yeah.
What was your work ethic like?
Honestly, I just say I'll get to it later, but then in my free time, if I have nothing better to do, I would go out in springtime, and we farm, so we have a bunch of fields. I would take a ball and play soft toss with myself and hit the ball out and go get it and hit it back towards the house.
It's paid off. Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at third base. So I was asking you if that was the position of choice or if that was just the best option for you to get on the field. But it sounds like you wanted third base. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. I did.
Why? That's a tough, the ball gets on you immediately. They call it the hot corner for a reason.
Yeah.
And in softball, sometimes if you have to charge, I've seen third basemen wear one off the forehead or off the shoulder. Why third base for you?
I like to move fast and be efficient, so I think the faster the ball comes, I don't like to be slow, I should say.
Okay.
I'm just used to fast-paced things.
Well, now that's physical. How
Yeah.
about mental? Because every great player that I talk to also says the same thing. You've got to be thinking a play ahead. If the ball finds me, where am I going with it? Talk about that part of the game.
Normally, since Taylor's our shortstop, she will yell it throughout the thing, but I tell myself, before every pitch is hit in my brain that, oh, I got to go to one, or it's twisting, or whatever.
Okay.
Or if the ball is bunted, I need to go one.
Communication is very important, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's talk about being a multi-sport athlete. You do play other sports?
I do.
What do you play?
I did golf for 2 years and then basketball for 2 years.
Okay. Anyone your favorite, or is it just whatever sport's in season?
I enjoyed basketball. I just did golf because they kind of needed an extra player, and I was like, I have nothing better to do, so I said, might as well try it out. It's fun.
So you just said, okay, whatever the team needs then, right?
Yes.
Okay, now that's not unlike Mabel McGuire's story coming back to play center field this year.
Yes.
So you got asked, and did you enjoy it? Did it surprise you?
It's the hardest sport I've ever played because you never know how it's going to go.
Okay.
And it was very fun towards the end.
Outside of sports, are you involved in any groups or clubs, activities?
I've been in 4-H for 12
Okay.
years, and then I'm in NTHS, which is National Technical Honor Society for Fort County.
Wow.
And then I am a student ambassador for Fort County.
Okay. So what are some of your duties as a student ambassador?
We have a public relations person there, so we help her say we have luncheons with elected officials. We help her. We sit with the elected officials and chat, show them around. We take tours of everything around the school. If there's a certain group that wants a tour, or adults that wanted tours of the school, we give them that. And then we did the radio interviews with her to talk about our programs.
Student athlete. Question I ask all of them, but you have to crack a book. You have to stay eligible to stay in the uniform. What's the grade point average for you?
3.5.
Okay, so pretty good.
Yes.
Favorite subject?
Oh.
She's thinking, don't say lunch.
No, definitely not. Probably government.
Why government?
It's more laid back than all my other things, and it's kind of I don't want to say easier, but it's just what I like to hear about.
Okay.
It's something practical to learn about, I should say.
Sure. Hey, an educated society is a good society, right?
Yes.
How about plans for after graduation? What do you want to do?
Right now I'm in an EMT program at Fort County, and I plan to move on and to a full-time department and do that.
How'd you get interested in that?
It was kind of last minute. I didn't think I wanted to take any classes at Ayersville, and I was like, I'm going to sign up for it. And that's kind of wasn't the only one I wanted. I was going to choose something else, but it was my second choice, and I got it. And I like public safety. My mom was a public safety officer.
I get the feeling from you just walking halfway around the field here. You don't want to sit still. If you have a down moment or free time, I mean, being a farmer, obviously being interested in an EMT, you constantly like to keep moving. You're not a desk job type, are you?
Yeah, no.
So if we came back in 10 years, 15 years, and did another interview, what would you plan on be doing?
I plan to be a flight medic or a nurse. One of those two.
So still staying in the medical field?
Yes.
Do you have any interest in staying involved in sports, or maybe like doing coaching on the side at all?
I think I would enjoy coaching, but I don't know if I have the patience for it.
And that's an honest answer, ladies and gentlemen. Honest. Well, now Taylor Waldron said she wouldn't mind maybe being the head coach. So could you at least be her assistant?
Yes,
How would that? Would you be a good
I could
pair?
do as assistant, but I don't
Okay.
think I could take on the whole thing.
All right, we're not going to graduate you or put you in your dream job just yet.
Nope.
We've still got the softball season
Oh,
left to
yeah.
go here. Let's talk a little bit about the season. Let's talk about Antwerp. You saw them about a month ago.
Yep.
You beat them 7-1.
Yes.
Now you're moving on. When you get to this point in time of the season, the opponent might be completely brand new to you.
Yes.
What type of challenge does that present?
They could change the way they like. Some of their girls bunted, and we have it, and we know which of those girls are. They could change those people. They've probably gotten better, worked on things that they realized were problems when they played us.
So, but Antwerp's now in the rearview mirror.
Yes.
How quick does your scout, your turnaround have to be? How detailed is a pregame scout? I've heard that they're pretty detailed here.
I think yes, Aubrey Florence, our coach, is very detailed to anything. She will think about it until she sleeps. She'll think about it in her sleep when she wants to figure out things.
So I've heard that about her. What type of personality is Coach Sartman?
He is the same way.
Okay.
But he is more of like, wants to go after him as hard as we can.
More aggressive than
Yeah.
maybe?
Not really though.
Okay. All right. We are working our way through sports. We've worked our way through academics. We want to know what makes this young lady tick. Are you ready for rapid fire favorites?
Yes.
Okay. Now you heard a little bit. She walked behind Taylor Waldron, ladies and gentlemen, so she got kind of a cheat sheet. This was an open book test
yeah.
for her, but that's okay. We want everybody to get straight A's. So we're going to fire away here. Let's start with favorite. I'm going to do these in reverse that I did with Taylor.
Okay.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. Why blue? School colors?
No, it's just,
You just look good in blue?
yeah, sure.
Various
I think
shades
it's
of blue?
just because of all the color. It's probably the only color shirt I have in my closet.
Okay. Favorite music or favorite artist?
I have to go with country.
Okay. Any artist in particular? Any singer?
I like Zach Bryan music a lot.
Okay. I was going to ask you because there's old school country, or what they call original country, and then kind of the more new wave country.
Yeah.
Do you like both, or are you favorite of one over the other?
I enjoy some old country, but I like the newer country better.
Okay. Favorite food?
Probably steak.
Probably steak.
Yeah.
Definitely steak.
Yeah.
Any particular cut? Strip, sirloin, ribeye?
I like sirloin steak a lot.
Okay. How do you like it cooked?
Medium rare.
Medium rare, so a little red.
Yep.
Still bleeding, I think, as we used to call it when I was a waiter. All right. Favorite movie or TV show?
Hawaii Five-0 is my favorite.
Oh, so TV.
show. Yeah.
Any particular reason?
I think I like the action in it.
Okay. Favorite sports team?
Oh, I don't really watch sports, but I'd have to go with the Cubs.
All right, go Cubs go. We can fire that up. Favorite athlete, or do you have one?
Athlete?
You can pick any number of pilot boys and probably be instantly appreciated.
I'd go Stephen Curry because he's pretty good at basketball.
Fantastic shooter. Favorite moment in high school, whether it was an athlete or a student?
That's hard. Probably,
She's really thinking on this
yeah,
one.
that one's
Is it
hard.
softball related?
I'll have to go softball, yes.
Okay.
Is when someone threw down to third, or I got a ground ball to third, and I just tagged them backwards in the helmet before they got to third.
So you made it look effortless, right?
Yeah. I was like in the splits position and tagged them backwards.
Now, unfortunately, DCTV did not broadcast that game, and we could have pulled it out of the archives and run it underneath their description there. I'll ask the same question I did to you for Taylor. Dream car.
Oh,
Somebody could drive one on the lot right there. What would you want?
Probably a 69 Charger.
Oh, going old school. You like a muscle car?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe punch a hole in the muffler, kind of a throaty V8 sound
Oh,
to
yeah.
it. Everybody's going to say, uh-oh, here comes Paul, right?
Yep.
Serious question for you. You remind me a lot of myself. My coach told me once, don't ever apologize for being self-made. You worked your way into a varsity starter.
Yes.
What advice would you have for underclassmen or maybe even younger kids in junior high or possibly grade school who maybe aren't as athletically gifted? They're behind others, but they have drive. What would you tell them?
I would say embrace the suck and work hard for it, because it will get you in somewhere.
Don't have to overcomplicate it, do you?
No.
Just pretty straight.
Yep.
What did you do when you reached moments where you wanted to quit? What kept you going?
Thought about what was ahead. Like, I could be doing this. And then it pushed me to get there farther.
And it has paid off
Yes.
for you. I'll ask the same question, last one that I always ask our player profiles, legacy. If we came back and somebody brought your name up in 5 or 10 years, what would you want people to say about you?
That I'm a hard worker and will help you do anything.
All right, it has paid off, well deserved. Season's not over yet.
Nope.
We're talking in the past. It's
Yep.
here and now. Laura Paul, best of luck to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That is our player profile. Backstop to the warning track. We're going to take a quick time out. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this on DCTV Sports. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show about to put a bow on it as we get set for second round Division 4 sectional playoff softball as Ayersville and Montpelier doing battle in Bryan at field number 5. We are going to get you the Baker Schindler Company starting lineups in just a second here as both teams lining up along their respective baselines as we get set for the playing of the national anthem, courtesy of the Defiance Elks Lodge number 147. Let's get them in at least as far as we can before we take a quick break here for the Pilots. Again, Ayersville on the season with a solid year at 13-4 overall, 6-1 in conference play. They come in on a 4-game winning streak with a first-round sectional victory, 10-1 versus Antwerp. The starting 9 will be Kendra Waldron. She will be leading things off. She's your pitcher. Michaela Sierra, the sophomore, roaming left field, batting second. Ariel Brown, the sophomore catcher, hits third. Mabel McGuire, the senior in center. Taylor Waldron, the senior shortstop, will be batting fifth, playing shortstop. Addison Zartman, the junior first baseman, bats sixth. Allison Eldridge, the sophomore second baseman, hits seventh. In the 8-hole, it will be Ava Sigler, a freshman, at third base. And Laura Paul will be your designated player. On the flip side, for the Locomotives of Montpelier, and again, a fantastic season, 14-7 overall, 7-1 in the Buckeye Border Conference. They also enter on a 4-game win streak with a first-round sectional victory, 13-0, a blanking of Hicksville. Leading things off, it will be Lila Mahan. Again, the catcher, junior, leading off. Jada Uribes, the junior first baseman, will bat second. Kelsey Bum, she is just a tremendous all-around athlete. Junior shortstop, hits third. Madeline Hopper will be your pitcher in the circle. She will bat cleanup. Lillian Mahan will be your designated player. She hits fifth. Batting in the 6-hole, it will be the only senior in the starting lineup. Addison Dick, again, in right field, in the bottom third of the order. Bella Ramos, the sophomore second baseman, hitting seventh. Hannah Beck, the freshman, manning the hot corner, will bat eighth. And batting ninth, it will be the junior center fielder, Katie Terry. Those are your Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. What we're going to do is take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll get set for first pitch. You're watching the pregame, the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports. We welcome you back to field number 5. Time now for the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show to wrap up with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by the Defiance Elks Lodge number 147. And the national anthem in the books, courtesy of our sponsor, the Defiance Elks Lodge number 147. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller saying thanks for joining us as we are getting set for first pitch. The home team will be the Pilots. The visitors batting first will be the Locomotives. Scoop, you said you knew the umpires. You were busy chatting them up before I could get names. Who do we have behind the plate?
We have Chris Engel behind the plate. Over at first base, we have veteran official Max Smeltzer. And at third base, we have Gary Brubaker. So a very seasoned three-man crew. I won't mention how many years combined experience they have, but let's just say it might be triple digits.
That is a good thing, though, right? No greenery here today. All ripe, and I wouldn't say rotten, just very experienced. So any of them run you? That's always going to be the question I'm always going to ask you.
Well, thankfully, two of these three guys never did baseball. So only one of these guys had a chance to ring me in baseball. He never did. I've had two of the three on the basketball and the hardwood, so I won't mention the results of those. But a seasoned crew will just say that.
All right.
Now batting, number 11.
It will be Kendra Waldron in the circle. Time for your F&M Bank first pitch as she will deal to Lila Mahan as a swing and a miss, and we are underway. Sectional, second round action. Waldron deals just a bit upstairs. Kendra Waldron has been Miss Everything. Now, she and sister Taylor, though, have shared time in the circle, but it's been Kendra Waldron as this one pop up. Speaking of Waldron's sisters, the senior ranges back. That ball kind of wiggled in her glove a bit, but she hauls it in for the first out.
Great job by Taylor Waldron going back right away. That was one of those balls kind of no man's land, but credit Waldron did a great job of not drifting on it. And a big first out here for the Pilots.
Kendra Waldron on the season has thrown to 82 1/3 innings. And she deals just a bit outside. Her numbers speak for themselves, Scoop. 64 runs, but only 45 allowed. Pardon me, 45 runs, only 26 allowed. But how about this? 28 walks to 133 strikeouts. She will come at you, and she doesn't care where you hit in the order.
Just crazy numbers she has out there, plus 5-to-1 strikeout walk ratio. And that'll win you a lot of ball games, as she certainly has done that for the Pilots this season.
She misses upstairs to Jada Uritas. It's now 3-0 the count. And Uritas takes the strike on the inside corner. We'll set the infield defense for the Pilots after this next pitch. Waldron goes through her standard routine, steps off, smacks the ball in her hand, and then goes after Jada Uritas. It's a swing and a miss, and from 3-0, it's now 3-2.
A good-looking heater that time from Waldron. Now a big payoff pitch coming up to Uritas.
No, what's coming here? Swing and a miss. The Warrior Princess just came right at her with a Premier Bank strikeout, fell behind 3-0. You don't see that very often from Kendra Waldron, and if you do, you better expect the heat, because she's going to say, here's my best, good luck catching up to it.
I tell you what, those last three pitches were right on the mark and plenty of velo behind it, and there's a rise ball that's out of the zone to Kelsey Bum. And Kelsey Bum has almost completely rewrote the record book as far as offense here for the Locomotives.
Hitting .448. That's almost one out of every two trips to the plate, Scoop.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Her on-base percentage at .545 on the season. Last year she was first team Buckeye Border Conference as a sophomore. There she's going to take a good-looking heater from Kendra Waldron right on the outside edge. That's going to get Bum in a negative count here at 1-2.
Ariel Brown, another sophomore, completes the battery, so it's an all-underclassmen battery as she sets up high and outside. Bum, good hold, ball one. From left to right on the infield, it goes freshman. This should be actually senior, sophomore, junior. It will be Paul at third, Waldron at short, Eldridge at second, Zartman at first as a swing and a miss. And Kendra Waldron makes a statement to open up the ball game, striking out two of the three Locos she faces to begin the ball game. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through one half inning. Locos nothing. Pilots coming to the plate. You're watching DCTV Sports. We welcome you back. There's got to be a nickname that you can give this place. You're big on nicknames, Scoop. Field number 5 just doesn't have the panache that a second-round playoff game deserves. So think on it. Just think on it and see if you can come up with something. This place is fantastic. We were down talking with the Montpelier coaching staff prior to the game when they were taking infield. This infield is like glass. It is incredibly smooth.
Oh, it's incredible, and the outfield might be even better. You look at the plush carpet, not just freshly mowed, but it's so level, so even, very thick out there. And again, what a tremendous job they've done with all the facilities here at Bryan. The park system here in Bryan is really second to none.
Madeline Hopper, the junior, in the circle for the Locos, finishing her warm-up. She get a good look at her there, and they're a good look from our center field camera. Scoop, she has 4 pitches that she can throw, but she'll bring that fastball anywhere from 60 to 62 miles an hour. She doesn't have a curve, but she's got a rise, a drop, and from what the coaching staff was telling us in the last couple of weeks, she's found a changeup. So it sounds like she is a pitcher, not just a thrower.
Well, she is, and the key for Hopper is going to be she has to locate. When she locates, it's tough math for the opposing offense because she is good. She can throw all those 4 pitches just about in any count. She's starting to get confidence with that changeup. I think that's going to be important here this afternoon. Which team can really limit the freebies may have the upper hand here in this district semifinal clash at Bryan.
Hopper 13-3 on the season with a stingy 1.51 ERA. She has surrendered 39 runs, 21 earned. She's walked 42, and Scoop, she's pushing 200 strikeouts with 179 on the year.
Well, last year she set a school record with 210, and she's certainly knocking on the door as she surpassed 400 strikeouts just in the last 2 seasons. Just incredible.
She will face her counterpart. Kendra Waldron will dig in. Waldron, we talk about what a tremendous pitcher she is, and rightfully so. But Kendra Waldron can also swing the bat, hitting .406 on the season.
Yeah, she also leads the team in RBIs, also leads the team with 9 doubles, 4 home runs, 14 extra base hits. So she's been really solid in that leadoff position.
This one, a little bit of a rise ball. Waldron tries to check her swing, but fouls it straight back, and she's down deep in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, great job by Hopper. She's doing what you need to do against a quality hitter like Waldron. She's moving the softball around, not just living on the outside edge. She's able to bring it in. She's able to go north and south with it. Big 1-2 pitch coming up here to Kendra Waldron.
1-2. Looks like she pulled a string, got her out on her front foot, and that is strike 3, a Premier Bank strikeout to open up the Pilot first. Let's set the Locos defense for you. All junior battery, Lila Mahan completes the battery. She's behind the plate. From left to right on the infield, it'll be freshman junior, sophomore junior. Hannah Beck at third, Kelsey Bum at short, Bella Ramos at second, Jada Uribes at first. A sophomore, a junior, and a senior from left to right in the green, Zoe Uribes, Katie Terry, and Addison Dick. As Michaela Sierra digs in and fouls a straight pitch back. Digging in from the left side, 0-1. Hopper deals, swing and a miss. She's bringing it. You can hear that glove pop over our crowd mic.
Well, she really is. She's got a fastball that will get into the low 60s, but right now what she's doing so well, she's locating. Perfect pitch right there at the knees. Quickly on top of Sierra, 0-2.
Check swing. Did she go? They'll appeal down to third. She did not. Gary Brubaker lays his hands out flat.
That's a pretty good 0-2 pitch. You know, something you're not going to get hurt with, something that entices the batter. But a good hold by Michaela Sierra to work the count 1-2.
Good look from our center field camera here. We'll get a good look, yet not just up and down, but inside, outside, as that one, boy, a little bit of a late break on the rise ball, and Sierra was on it, just fouling it straight back.
Well, that rise ball did what it was intended to do. You know, it disrupts that timing a little bit, and it forces you to kind of pop things up. Fortunately, that time for Sierra, that foul off behind the plate. She'll live for another 1-2 pitch.
1-2. This one a liner into right center field, and it will get down. Terry can't get there. Dick can't get there. Rounding first and standing up into second base. Great piece of 2-strike hitting by Michaela Sierra, and the Pilots have their first base runner of the game.
Tremendous job there by Sierra. And again, the key to that at bat was fighting off that tough 2-strike rise ball. And that time she got one and caught a little bit too much of the plate. And now Ayersville has something cooking here with 1 out, and one of the top players in all of Ohio in Ariel Brown at the dish.
Brown hitting .491, just a sophomore. She's got 10 RBI on the season. Number 11 standing at second base.
Remember last year as a freshman, she was first team all GMC. Again, the on-base percentage, nearly 600. She's been a tough out. You got first base open. You got to be careful here.
Oh, she was swinging for the downs there, went after one well above the letters, and she's talking to herself. Now down on the count 0-2.
Good-looking rise ball. Right now, if you're Hopper, you have to be smart. You do not want to give in to Brown here. You got first base open, up 0-2. Try to get her to chase.
Well, she elevated again, but that time Brown got a piece of it.
Well, Brown's not getting cheated, and she really rarely does. She's up there to do one thing, drive in runs, which she's been really good at all season. She leads the Pilots in hits this season with 27, also leads the Pilots in runs scored with 21, trying to drive home the game's first run.
Well, wind blowing straight out to right here, and despite that, Addison Dick is playing very shallow. Off speed, Frozer called third strike on the outside corner, and that's a huge Premier Bank strikeout in a key situation.
Oh, what a great changeup that time from Hopper. Completely fooled Ariel Brown, something that's not easy to do, but not out of the woods yet. But, boy, that's a big second out there for Montpelier, trying to get out of an early threat here in this opening frame.
So that'll bring up the senior center fielder, Belle McGuire. Fouled away. McGuire did not go out for softball last year, and if I'm not mistaken, she didn't go out the year before either, but just a tremendous all-around athlete. And Coach Zartman and company said, hey, you'll really want to watch your senior season? And she said no, so she came out, and clearly it has paid dividends for the Pilots. The 0-1, back to the pitcher. Over to third, and that's a nice job of Hopper by fielding her position, and that snuffs out the Pilot threat here in the bottom of the first. No runs on a hit, no errors, and one left the board. We are through one at field number 5, soon to have a nickname christened by Scoop Miller when we come back on DCTV Sports. We welcome you back to field number 5 at Brian Brent-Palpinato alongside Scoop Miller. Fantastic facility here. You get a good look from our third base camera. And there, center field, is Kendra Waldron, the young sophomore fireballer, finishing her warm-ups. Scoop, we were talking about how meticulous this field is prepped. The infield, I commented on it, it's almost like glass. But then you look out at the outfield and you can tell it's been rolled, it's been trimmed, it has been well watered. Not that Mother Nature hasn't helped a lot this season, but this is about as perfect a facility as we've seen anywhere all season long.
Yeah, it really is, and we've seen some great ones, but this facility here at Bryan, this is what you want in a district semifinal game. It's going to be a special memory for all these kids to make it to the district tournament, sectional champions, and get a chance to play in a gorgeous facility like this. But both these teams aren't just satisfied being here. They want to survive and advance here.
Madeline Hopper, the counterpart to Kendra Waldron, fouls 2 straight back, and now down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Talked about flirting around 500. Hopper doing the same thing, except she's an eyelash above it, Scoop. 507 on the season. And she just took a called third strike, another Premier Bank punch-out. That is now 3 on the game for Kendra Waldron.
We're seeing some incredible pitching on both sides right now as Kendra Waldron records her 3rd punch-out, just 4 batters faced.
Lillian Mahan sends a slow one up the middle, but sister has sister's back. Taylor Waldron charges, makes the throw, and really ended up being a routine put-out 2 away.
Well, I think I'm going to score that 1-6-3. I think Kendra may have got a little leather on that, so give both Waldrons an assist on that. But 2 quick outs here for Ayersville, trying to set down the locomotives in order for the second consecutive time today.
Addison Dick digs in and takes a first pitch strike. Kendra Waldron, we've talked about this before, Scoop. She will work both halves of the plate, but she's also not afraid to change eye level. She is just, hard to believe she is just a sophomore. Can you imagine how much better she's going to be over the next 2 seasons of her prep career?
Well, she's been fun to watch. You know, we've seen her multiple times this season. She just continues to get better each and every time out. There's a good-looking fastball that time Addison Dick's a little bit tardy on.
That ball was in Brown's mitt by the time she was able to get around on it.
But Waldron doing what she typically does. She loves to get 2 of the first 3 pitches for strikes.
How about that one? Strike 3. So good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Kendra Waldron. We see you, number 28. We see you. A Premier Bank strikeout ends the top of the first, and for the second straight inning, the Locos go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. No score in Bryan. We're back after this on DCTV Sports. Kendra Waldron made short work of the Locos in the top of this inning, so we head to the bottom of the frame, and there you see her counterpart, junior Madeline Hopper, finishing her warm-up pitches. Pilots got a runner aboard. It was a one-out double by Michaela Sierra, but she was unable to advance any farther. So it will be 5, 6, and 7. Taylor Waldron, Addison Zartman, and Allison Eldridge to face the junior right-hander. Taylor Waldron, senior shortstop, hitting .339 on the season. Tremendous all-around athlete, open stance. And she takes the first pitch above the letters. Taylor Waldron will continue her athletic career at Defiance College. It will be on the volleyball court, as she has accepted a scholarship offer there.
Well, last year as a junior, Taylor Waldron was second team all GMC as far as softball, and a proven athlete. And there she's going to take a rise ball upstairs, so she's quickly on top of Hopper, 2-0.
2-0. Head in the count. We'll see if she gets something to work with as Hopper deals. Swing and fouled straight back. She had her measured. Just didn't get the better part of the bat on it.
Well, that's a great 2-0 swing right there. You know, the one thing on a 2-0 pitch, you want to be aggressive if it's in your zone, but what you have to do is be on time. And that time she was on time, but she was just a little bit underneath. But she's still in the hitter's count at 2-1.
Hopper deals. This one popped up. It will get over the roof of the first base dugout. And now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A great job by Hopper to battle back from a 2-0 count to even things up at 2-2. Good looking rise that time. That Waldron's just able to foul off. Once again, always key trying to get that leadoff runner out, and if you're Ayersville, trying to get that leadoff runner on base.
2-2, misses inside, and Waldron has run the count full.
That's a great hold right there. That's a tough pitch, just off the black on the inside corner, but a great hold. And now Hopper forced to come over the plate. And certainly, you know, Waldron wants to be up there swinging anything close.
He's hitting fastball here.
Yes.
Hey, she got it. She couldn't catch up to it. Strike 3.
Another Premier Bank strikeout for Madeline Hopper, who now has 3 on the afternoon. Well, that's always big, trying to retire that first hitter. That brings up Addison Zartman, hitting .296, and also leads the Pilots in RBIs with 15 on the season.
She's right in the heart of the box. First pitch swinging a little late.
Once again, Hopper doing a great job of using both sides of the plate. That time starts Zartman off the fastball right on the hands. Zartman fouls it off, but again, Hopper doing a great job of getting those first pitch strikes, something that's going to be important for her to be successful here tonight.
The 0-1. Hopper deals. Looks like she might have taken a little something off of that pitch, and Zartman couldn't quite time it up. Strike 2.
Well, she's doing a great job, but not just mixing pitches, but mixing speeds.
Yep.
And that time really hit her spot. And once again, Hopper on top of an Ayersville hitter, 0-2.
Deals 1, 2, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Well, another Premier Bank strikeout for Hopper, who now has 4. So this has turned into an early pitcher's duel here.
Which doesn't surprise you at all,
No,
does it?
not a bit. Both these pitchers have not issued a walk. Both these pitchers have 4 strikeouts, and we're still in the second inning. Just total pitcher's duel at this juncture.
Allison Eldridge hitting .333, digs in from the right side, checks her swing, and takes ball 1.
You know, Eldridge also has an on-base percentage of .379, so she's done a nice job of kind of setting the table there, one of those last 3 hitters in the lineup. And there she takes a rise ball that she could not catch up to. That's going to even the count up at 1-1.
1-1. Hopper goes through a routine, pulls the string there. This one grounded, backhanded by Bum. Long throw, and that's just a tremendous play by an athlete. Kelsey Bum took away a potential hit in the 5-5 hole, backhanding it, planted, and made a tremendous throw to first base, and it will be a 1-2-3 inning for Ayersville. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are through 2, no score. Back at Brian right after this on DCTV Sports. We head to the top of the third as we welcome you back to Brian. It's field number 5, not Mambo number 5, field number 5, as Kendra Waldron will deal to the bottom of the order for the Locomotive. 7, 8, and 9. Bella Ramos leads it off. Hannah Beck on deck, and Katie Terry, the center fielder, in the hole. First pitch was a strike, so it's the second on a swing and a miss. And Kendra Waldron, after striking out 2 out of 3 in each of the first 2 innings, is off to another strong start.
Well, both pitchers doing a great job of attacking the zone early and often. There's
Wow.
a great changeup right there from Waldron. She gets another Premier Bank strikeout, her 5th of the afternoon.
She smacks that ball into her glove. It's the routine. I'm not sure where our cameraman Will is, but Will, if you can get a shot of her face, she is locked in. The intensity behind those blue eyes is just something to see. She came ready, Scoop, and she's found the zone early. She hasn't needed to warm up or find her routine. She is dealing.
Well, she's so focused. You could see that right away here this afternoon when she was at the park. But again, you have to like that. You know, that tells you this game means something to all these young ladies out there. She's trying to do her part, but she's really locked in, really locating early on here.
0-1. Make it 1-1.
Not doing anything to dispel her timing.
Rubs that ball on her trousers, sets, deals, swing and a miss, strike 2. Beck entering this afternoon's contest, hitting .250, bottom of the order. Not quite the robust batting averages that the top third has. As this one popped up, playable, who wants it? Paul calling for it on the infield, battled that wind a little bit, but a nice job as she makes the catch, 2 down.
Once again, great job by Waldron attacking the zone, making a quality pitch. And great job by Laura Paul there to battle the elements, secure that second out.
Our player profile, Scoop, and again, if you didn't catch it, a self-made player. She didn't play much at all through her first 3 seasons, and she made herself a starter here as the 9-hole Katie Terry takes a swing and a miss. But when we stopped at the end of the backstop, last question I asked her, I said, so what advice would you have for junior varsity or even the youth kids who maybe aren't as talented as their teammates, as squaring to bunt? This one comes up empty, make it 0-2. But can use you as an example to play your way into the starting lineup. And she looked at me and said, embrace the suck. And that's a more modern term of saying go ahead and love it. Even when it stinks, even when it hurts, even when it's tough, when you want to quit, embrace it and let it drive you. And she has.
You know, I've never met a high school athlete, after the fact that regretted
Sticking
going
with
out
it.
for a sport, and there's another Premier Bank strikeout to end the top of the third, and that's number 6 now for Kendra Waldron.
Backwards K, she's got 6 through 3. Nobody's been able to touch her. We are going to head to the bottom of the frame when we come back. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports. Back at Bryan Field, number 5, we head to the bottom of the third, a pitcher's duel between pilots Kendra Waldron and the Locomotives' Madeline Hopper. The only hit of the ball game came back in the first inning. Michaela Sierra with a 1-out double. She was unable to advance any farther, and we have a stingy 0-0 score up on our board, as it will be the 8th, 9th, and then leadoff hitters for Ayersville: Ava Sigler, Laura Paul, and Kendra Waldron.
Once again, good start here by Hopper. That time she's able to induce a swing by Laura Paul at a rise ball up above the letters. So another first pitch strike here for Hopper.
And not very often you have someone hitting in the 8th spot.
Sigler fouls this one straight back.
A nice job by Hopper. That time doubled Sigler up, came right back with the rise ball in that second pitch. And like many times before, quickly on top of an Ayersville hitter, 0-2.
Sigler in the 8-hole hitting a healthy 358. They have some lumber throughout this lineup.
That's, I think, the one difference between lineups. I think a little bit more top to bottom for this Ayersville lineup than you see with Montpelier.
Yep.
But again, I think with the way both these teams are pitching, you need to get a break here. You need to play for run, try to manufacture a run. This is one of those games where you don't want to blink first because you could be in trouble.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. She got her.
That's Premier Bank strikeout number 5 there for Madeline Hopper. As that time she came with the rise ball, started right out there at the top of the zone. Just tough to catch up to. Both pitchers continue to deal here. One quick out here in this third inning.
So the 9-hole, Laura Paul. She embraces a lot of things, and it has garnered her a starting position at third base. So she looks at an 0-1 count here.
That's just amazing what Hopper continues to do. This is the 9th hitter we've seen for Ayersville. She's had all 9 hitters in a negative count at some point, so continuing to hit her spots.
1-1 fouled straight back.
Right now, Hopper pitched with a lot of confidence, doing an excellent job of really mixing those 4 pitches in. She's been a little bit more heavy rise ball, but she's had a lot of success with it here the first time through the order. And now a 1-2 pitch coming up to Laura Paul, trying to set the table as the lineup turns over with Kendra Waldron in the on-deck circle.
The 1-2. Hopper rocks, fires. Called, third strike, low and away. And Laura Paul, I don't know what else anybody could have done with that pitch. That was just too tough.
Yeah, that was a tough pitch, well located. Again, another Premier Bank strikeout. Now both pitchers have combined for 12 strikeouts, have not surrendered a walk. And now the lineup turns over for Kendra Waldron, trying to start something up here with 2 outs. There's a good hold right there. That time a drop ball just below the knees there. That's one of those tough pitches to lay off. But now Waldron has the count in her favor at 1-0.
Waldron 0 for 1, struck out swinging to open up the ball game. Scoots off the plate, and a rarity, a 2-0 count.
Yeah, this is the second 2-0 count here against Hopper, but remember in the first one she came back, was able to throw 3 consecutive strikes to get the punch out.
The 2-0, she pulled a string. She gave her a piece of candy, Scoop, and you saw Waldron couldn't lay off of it. She was way out in front of that changeup.
Well, that's smart pitching right there. You know Waldron's a girl that wants to be aggressive, very athletic, very talented, and that time just could not hold up there as that ball sailed out of the zone. Count still in her favor at 2-1.
2-1, popped up, foul territory, ranging over and out of play as Uribes and the first base coach for the Pilots. A little bit of collision there. Waldron entered today's contest hitting a robust .406. Trying to play leadoff here for the second time in as many at-bats.
Remember, she's got great power as well. Leads the Pilots with 14 extra base hits on the season.
2-2 off speed. It's almost a bunt down the third base line. Beck's got it. That's close. Not in time. What were we saying about power? Add speed to that list, Scoop, as she legs out the infield single.
Well, that was as good as a bunt right there. That was one of those swinging bunts that was just well placed. I thought Hannah Beck did a great job there at third base, but just no way to throw out the speedster, Kendra Waldron. And now with 2 outs, Ayersville has something cooking here, as that'll bring up Michaela Sierra, who doubled her first time up.
With 1 down, Sierra, one of your better contact hitters. And that was with 2 strikes back in the first inning. How aggressive do you get with Waldron here at first, or do you not want to take the bat out of Sierra's hands at all? Swing away and just read it off the bat if you're Waldron.
Well, I don't mind being aggressive here. You know, even if you get thrown out, you have Sierra leading off the next inning.
Swing and a miss, Waldron.
But Sierra I don't think she has a ton of stolen bases on the season.
You mean Waldron?
Or, excuse me, Waldron.
Can you steal first? Because Michaela would try it.
Well, that's the hardest thing to steal. I mean, it's one thing stealing second and third. The toughest base to steal, I always thought, was first base. Once you steal first, you've got a chance to steal second and third.
It all starts. This one, little looper, and look out. It's right at the second baseman, Bella Ramos, who hauls it in. And that will do it for the Pilots here in the bottom of the third. They get their second base runner of the game. Can't do anything with Waldron. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We're through 3 at Bryan. No score. Pilots nothing. Locomotives nothing. Back after this on DCTV Sports. There you get a good look at our third base camera as we welcome you back to Bryan, field number 5. It is second round sectional playoff action as the Pilots of Ayersville and the Locomotives of Montpelier doing battle. No surprise here. Pitchers duel between Madeline Hopper and in the circle right now, sophomore Kendra Waldron for Ayersville.
Now batting, number 11, Lila Mayhan.
Top of the order, Lila Mayhan will dig in. 0 for 1 as she popped out to shortstop to open up the ball game. Waldron not even close on that pitch. We'll see if she can lock back in here. She has struck out 2 batters in every inning so far. She misses upstairs here, and a rarity, a 2-0 count. We'll see if the sophomore can lock back in. And Mayhan is short, so not quite the same strike zone that some of her teammates have. And right now, Waldron is missing upstairs. We'll see if she throws the obligatory 3-0 fastball. She does, and it's right down central as Mayhan takes all the way, strike 1.
Right where that fastball needed to be, right down the heart of the plate. But still, you can be very patient here if you're Lila Mayhan here, up 3-1.
Swing and a miss, battling back now. Waldron Sauce for the goose. It's 3-2.
Oh, that's another great pitch. Just really unhittable there, right at the knees. Had a little drop to it.
3-2. Got her swinging. Strike 3 after 3-0. Another Premier Bank strikeout to lead off the inning. And you see, zoom in, look at the concentration behind those steely blue eyes. Kendra Waldron is in beast mode right now.
Well, that's huge. She totally flushed the first 3 pitches that weren't even close. Then she came back with 3 quality strikes. And this is the 3rd consecutive inning that Kendra Waldron has struck out the leadoff batter.
0-1 the count to Jada Uribe. She is also a strikeout victim, that back in the first. Well, you just look at the way she holds herself, seemingly towering over everything. No way this kid looks or acts like a sophomore. She is mature beyond her years.
It's just amazing. Here we are, 1 out in the top of the 4th, and she's struck out 7 of the 9 Montpelier hitters. And Montpelier came in as a team hitting .373, so that just does not happen very often. But wow, she's really had their number here the first time through.
1-2 after wasting a pitch. Waldron comes after a rise ball, and it's fouled straight back.
Oh, that's a good cut there by Jada Uribe. That was a tough pitch. She's very fortunate just to fight that pitch off. Uribe's last year, 2nd team All Buckeye Border Conference, another solid athlete. We saw that on the basketball court this past winter. Right now trying to start things out for the Locos.
There's a changeup that rolls across the plate.
That's one of the few times we've seen really a non-competitive pitch from Waldron. That just did not have the right grip, but still a big 2-strike pitch coming up. This is the 2nd consecutive hitter that Waldron has gone a 3-ball count on, something you need to avoid. We'll see if she can come up big one more time on the payoff pitch.
This one, a shot into right center field. It will get down as it splits Beecher and McGuire. Rounding first and standing up into second base, Jada Uribe with the first hit of the ball game for the Locos.
Oh, what a good-looking swing that time by Jada Uribe, who really laced up that 3-2 pitch, and that's the key. You know, when you get a 3-ball count, the pitcher's forced to throw it over the heart of the plate. And when you get it, you can't miss it, and Uribe did not. So now Montpelier with their first opportunity to drive home a run brings up the dangerous Kelsey Bum.
Very dangerous Kelsey Bum. Both teams have put a runner at second. Well, she was showing as if they were going to play a little small ball. That's got to be a deke. There's no way you have your best
I think
hitter.
you're trying to get the infield moving, get the third baseman in where you get a chance to get a hard ground ball through, but certainly you think Bum's going to be up there swinging here, the top hitter in the BBC.
Yeah, Bum hitting .448 with 25 RBIs on the season coming into today's game. Number 26 standing at second base. It would give the Locos the lead.
Remember, she leads the team with 18 extra base hits on the season. Right now, just looking for a single.
1-1 downstairs. And again, if you are Waldron here, just the second time, actually the first time today, that they've got a runner aboard, and I'm watching her trying to slow the game down.
And I'm not throwing anything close to being a strike here against Kelsey Bum.
And she's taking 3-1.
That's a good hold. You know, Bum wants to be swinging, but she has to be disciplined here. You know, you got to make sure it's a pitch in the zone, something you can hit hard. Up 3-1 in the count. 3rd consecutive 3-ball count here issued by Kendra Waldron. Well, that's a healthy swing right there by Bum. She was hoping for the fastball, got the rise ball, and that just threw it off a little bit. She fouls it straight back. And once again, another big 3-2 payoff pitch coming up here from Waldron.
Tried to frame it up on the outside corner, and you could tell by Waldron's reaction she wanted that call, but it's a hold, and runners now at first and second.
Well, that's a good pitch right there. I thought it was clearly off the plate a few inches, but a good pitch. You want to try to entice Bum, but I don't think you want to give in to Kelsey Bum. I think you're certainly, if you're Coach Zartman, you're happy to give up the walk there and not risk Kelsey Bum beating you.
So here's Hopper digging in as this pitch misses upstairs. Kendra Waldron smacks the ball in her glove, trying to slow things down here, taking a little extra time in between deliveries. Now deals a little bit upstairs.
Well, right now, once again, a good hold, good patience here by Montpelier. And again, Hopper, a lethal weapon up there, hitting north of 500 on the season. No place to put her.
2-0. There's a strike.
Well, that's a perfect 2-0 pitch. You don't want to miss across the heart of the plate. I'd rather issue the walk, but that one was a fastball that just caught the black on that outside edge.
You double her up there on this one?
I do.
She's trying and swing and a miss. Hopper couldn't lay off of it.
Once again, she went right back to that black there on the outside portion. And now we're going to have a quick timeout as fourth-year skipper Andy Robinson coming in to give a few encouraging words here to Hopper, who again leads Montpelier in practically every offensive category. On base percentage, batting average, hits, 27 RBIs. And oh yeah, she also has 8 doubles and 3 home runs on the season as well.
Looking at a crucial 2-2 pitch here from Waldron. Scoreless game in the fourth. It's fouled straight back. Boy, Waldron gave her, I think, a rise ball there.
That's a great pitch. It was a rise ball. It started out about belt high, too, and you could see the eyes get big there from Hopper, but that had plenty of rise to it, and all Hopper can do is fight it off. So now a huge 2-2 pitch.
She checked. That one was well out of the strike zone, and again, third batter in this inning to go to a full count.
Yeah, actually the fourth batter. All 4 batters have got a 3-ball count here. And wow, this is going to be huge right here.
Ground ball, gobbled up by the second baseman, underhanded, Eldridge to Zartman. It's in effect a sacrifice as both runners advance 60 feet, but now with 2 outs, both runners in scoring position. And that will bring up Lillian Mahan, the designated player.
Well, Bill Zartman's going to take that and run with it. Quality pitch and sequence that time by Waldron, as they were happy to exchange the out for the advancement of Uribe and Bum.
Waldron digs in. First pitch swinging. And right now, if you are Kendra Waldron, you forget about what's happening on the base paths. You go right after the hitter, don't you?
Yeah, you're just dialed in right now. It's just me against you at the plate. That's the only thing that matters at this juncture.
This one, did that hit her? Yes, it did. Bounced off of her lower leg around the knee, and the bases will be loaded.
You know, that's actually probably a break right there for Ayersville. If that ball does not hit her, that may end up being a wild pitch and a potential chance to score Jada Uribe from third base. Instead, they had a place to put her that loads the bases, but now you have to pitch to the senior, Addison Dick, who's hitting .326 on the season. She also has 10 walks for locals as well, so she has a good eye.
Now we got a time being called here. Coach Zartman is coming in to talk to home plate umpire Chris Engel, and I'm not sure what the issue is.
A little bit of discussion here by Coach Robinson.
Was that, again, an argument about whether or not it was a dead ball, whether it was a hit by pitch? If it was, it's a little late.
Yeah, it definitely got her just above the knee there. Certainly the right call.
Off speed, paints the black on the inside corner to Addison Dick. Strike one.
Well, that's huge. You got the bases loaded, no place to put her. First pitch strikes are huge. And now Waldron on top, 0-1.
No balls, 1 strike.
Spots another. That was a beauty. Nothing you can do with that if you're Dick.
Well, that's filthy. That had a lot of glove side run to it. And after going inside on the first pitch, she paints the black on the outside corner.
Swing and a miss. She got her. Strike 3. Kendra Waldron rips her mask off as she sprints to the dugout. She made it interesting as the Locos load them up, but they are left scoreless here in the top of the third. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, and the bases left loaded. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth right after this. No score. And Brian, we're back on DCTV Sports. Bottom of the fourth as we welcome you back to Bryan Field number 5. Pilots will send the heart of the order to the plate. First pitch swinging Ariel Brown to third, and that's just a nifty play by Hannah Beck. I'm not sure if she's an inch shorter. She comes down with that softball, but she makes the play to retire the leadoff batter.
A great job there by Beck. Certainly not an easy play, but great glove play, tremendous throw, and a big first out.
So that'll bring up Belle McGuire. McGuire 0 for 1. Grounded out to Hopper. Back in the second inning. Actually, I take that back. It was the first inning as she ended the first. Looking at a 1-0 count. Leans back. Brushes her on the inside. McGuire hitting .377 entering today's contest. 61 at bat. She's scored 14 runs. She's had 23 hits, primarily a singles hitter. But she does have 3 triples, Scoop.
Well, she's got excellent wheels, no doubt about that. And then that ground out by Brown, it's the first time that Hopper did not strike out the leadoff batter.
Yep.
For Ayersville, so maybe that's a good sign for the Pilots here.
Are
Second time around,
I was about to say.
Starting to time her up a little bit.
Swing and a miss. Boy, she yanked her head on that one. So 3-1. If you are Hopper, do you come back at her with a fastball again here? Do you try and get her to chase?
I think you have to come with your best pitch right here, go across the heart of the plate, force her to swing the bat.
The 3-1. Boy, that had a little late drop to it, and that's a delayed strike call by Chris Engel. That was trust in your stuff if you are Madeline Hopper.
Well, that's a great pitch. That ball was down the middle, but right at the knees there.
Yep.
Just a tough pitch to hit. Probably a good hold there by McGuire, but now the count full. You need a 2-strike approach.
Payoff pitch. Buster inside, fouled away in front of the dugout.
Oh, excellent 2-strike approach that time from McGuire. That's one of those pitches awfully close there to the edge. You don't want to take a chance and put in the umpire's hands, and that time she's able to fight it off to the right side. Count remains full here at 3-2, something we've seen a lot of here in the last inning.
Payoff pitch. We'll do it again. Nobody aboard with 1 away. Scoreless ball game. Bottom of the fourth. Inside, she drew a walk.
Boy, that's a tough hold right there. What a quality pitch from Hopper, but it ends up being the first walk surrendered by Madeline Hopper. And now the Ayersville Pilots have the potential go-ahead run at first base with just 1 out.
Scoop, 3 of the 4 innings, the Pilots have put runners aboard. They just haven't been able to string quality at bats together. We'll see what we can get here from Taylor Waldron. Good speed at first. Waldron squares to bunt. This is a beauty. Deadened up the first base line. Hopper picks it up. The throw just gets her on a bang-bang play at first.
What a play by Hopper. Looked like she was going to let it roll foul, but then she decided last minute, I'm not sure it's going to roll foul. She picked it up on the chalk and threw a seed there to Jada Uribe, but great job there by Uribe to snare it just in time. A huge second out, but the Pilots do have a runner in scoring position with an RBI situation for Addison Zartman, who leads the team in that department with 15.
Zartman on the afternoon, a strikeout victim to end the second. Oh, she got a pitch right down central and fouls it straight back, and she's talking to herself right now.
Well, right now, you know, Hopper's done such a great job of using both sides of the plate, using all 4 quadrants. That's ball that went across the heart of the plate.
My.
And Zartman would like to have that one back as she fouls that one off the screen. And now Hopper on top, 0-1.
Hopper digs in, deals, challenges her again. Scoop, we were talking about it just a couple of hitters ago, but it looks like slowly but surely, it's not just the top of the order, it's everybody, 1 through 9. They're starting to get their timing down.
Yeah, they're swinging with confidence right now. They've been very aggressive here, but Hopper's been that good so far. She really is amped things up. She put a little extra on that one, and now she's on top of Zartman, 0-2.
0-2. Rise ball got her swinging. Strike 3. That is a Premier Bank strikeout, and that ends the threat for Ayersville here in the bottom of the fourth. So for 3 out of 4 innings, Pilots have put a runner aboard. Can't do anything with her. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left for our in the books. No score from Bryan. We're back after this on DCTV Sports. Bird's eye view from our third base camera. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller welcoming you back to Bryan, field number 5. It is second round of the Ohio High School Athletic Association sectional playoffs. We got a pair of powerhouses battling for the right to advance to Friday afternoon. 13-4, Ayersville doing battle against Montpelier at 14-7. Green Meadows Conference versus the Buckeye Border, and 2 stud pitchers. Madeline Hopper got herself out of a jam in the bottom of the last frame. Last inning, Kendra Waldron. The bases were loaded, and she just bowed her neck and got a strikeout on Addison Dick to snuff out the thread as she deals to Bella Ramos here, who fouls the first pitch back for a strike.
Well, we talked about how athletic both these pitchers are, you know, how they got such a great arsenal, and they use that full repertoire. But what we really haven't mentioned is the mental toughness that both these pitchers have, too. These two are competitors out there. They're not going to give in one bit. And there's another quality pitch here from Waldron, who once again is able to get on top of a local hitter here. 0-2.
It's 1-2.
1-2, excuse me.
Yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Waldron deals. Frames it up on the outside corner. She pulled a string, hit the black. Ariel Brown framed it. That is how you get a backwards K for another Premier Bank strikeout.
Well, that's Premier Bank strikeout number 9 here for Kendra Waldron, who just stays locked in. And again, she controls the
Look
count.
at that. Scoop, she is in beast mode. And you don't, what do you say in the dugout when you've got a teammate, and especially a pitcher that's in the zone like
You don't
this?
say anything. You let them stay right where they're at. They're locked in. You keep them doing their routine, their focus locked in. Don't mess with it.
It's her against the world right now. This one grounded past the glove of Paul at third and into left field. That'll be another hit. Just the second of the ball game, and Hannah Beck now represents the go-ahead run with 1 away here in the 5th.
Yeah, nice job there by Beck. A second time through, timed her up pretty well. Found a little hole there in that left side. That was a C&I single, but certainly Coach Andy Robson will take it as they have a runner on first here with just 1 out.
Brings up Katie Terry, center fielder, swing and a miss. The corners were charging. They will throw down to first, but that ball looked like it actually went off the spikes of Hannah Beck and deflected. Beecher is there to pick it up, and no advancement.
Well, credit Rylan Beecher. That time right away on the bunt, she was moving to back up a potential throw, and they had it at first base. And once that ball hit off the spikes, just no chance to advance on a heads-up play by Beecher.
Beck hitting just .250 on the season. She's there. Katie Terry digging in. Just goes to show you, Scoop, if you miss, even a .250 hitter can hit a fastball.
Yeah, right now, Montpelier would love to find a way to get Beck into scoring position.
She showed there, and another snap throw down to first. Ariel Brown's got no fear. She's putting it right on the bag. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Katie Terry.
I like to call that time from Coach Andy Robinson to initiate the sack bunt, try to get the runner in scoring position with the lineup turning over with Lila Mahan on deck. But now the count 1-2, so be situational here.
Waldron deals, squares to bunt. This popped up. Snap throw down to first. Back in time, but man, my goodness. Ariel Brown showing off a hose behind the plate. We got 2 away.
She's so good in every phase of the game. That time, great reaction to the bunt that was popped up. Made sure of the out, but then she's always looking for the next play. And that time she threw a seed down to first. And fortunately for Montpelier, Beck back in time.
This one upstairs as the lineup turns over. Lila Mahan is 0 for 2. A pop out to short and a strikeout swinging. Mahan hitting .360 coming into this afternoon's contest as Kendra Waldron looking skyward. Slows it down. Right now bending over to tie her shoe. Mahan digs back in, deep in the box, very open stance. She worked the count full her last at bat, swings and misses there.
Oh, another good-looking pitch there from Waldron, and a great spot to even the count up at 1-1.
Waldron Kicks, fires. Oh, my goodness. Look at the break on that. Like a Frisbee in your backyard. That looked like a pretty sharp curve.
She just continues to control counts. She's had so many hitters, 0-2, 1-2 all night long. And now just one pitch away getting out of this inning.
Rise ball and runner goes, and the throw goes into second base. Miscommunication between Eldridge and Waldron. Technically, 9 out of 10 times that would be the shortstop's bag, but they both pulled up short on each other. I'm not sure that they would have gotten her, but we'll never know.
Well, credit Mabel McGuire for backing that up and just kind of smother one knee. A lot of kids will try to glove that, come up throwing. Just keep it in front.
Yep.
Not allow a three-base error and a gift run. Now we got twos are wild here in the top of the fifth.
2-2, foul back. Looks like she might have pulled a bit of a string there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner at second. We are in the top of the fifth, no score. Second round sectional action from Bryan. It's this one, a high fly ball popped up. It'll stay on the infield. Can of corn, as Scoop would say. And for the second time in this ball game, Mahan pops out to the shortstop, Taylor Waldron. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left aboard. Who scores first? We'll see if the Pilots have some offense in them as we come back to the bottom of the inning. You're watching DCTV Sports. We welcome you back to Bryan Field number 5 as you get a good look from our center field camera. Junior Madeline Hopper finishing her warm-ups. District action between Ayersville and Montpelier. Both teams have had exceptional seasons. The Pilots 13-4 overall, 6-1 in the GMC. Likewise on the flip side for the Locomotives, 14-7. They were 7-1 in the Buckeye Border Conference. Only one will be able to wear the uniform this Friday. Scoop, we talk about it so much. Will to win. The loser packs up their gear until next season. The winner earns the right to wear it at least one more ball game.
Well, you're exactly right. You're going to have to earn it to get out of this district tournament. 4 quality teams. We're seeing 2 of them right here.
Yep.
And one being the number 1 seed, the Ayersville Pilots, who find themselves with their hands full here in the bottom of 5th, a scoreless pitcher's duel.
Allison Eldridge, sophomore second baseman, is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. It was a tremendous backhanded snare by Kelsey Bauman and a great throw to steal a hit away from her. Takes a strike on the corner, 1-1.
Well-placed fastball once again. And these 2 pitchers, Brent, tonight combined for 16 strikeouts and just 2 walks. They've just been lights out. And again, both these teams, strong hitting teams. Ayersville on the season hitting .344 as a team.
Swing and a miss, got her out on front. Again, inside, outside, upstairs, downstairs, faster, slower. Madeline Hopper right now is firing on all pistons.
Well, Ayersville would love to get that leadoff runner on base, something they have not done here tonight.
Swing and a miss, she got her, strike 3, another Premier Bank strikeout.
Well, that's number 8 there for Hopper. Comes at a good time to retire Eldridge to start things out in this 5th inning. And that brings up the number 8 hitter, Ava Sigler, hitting .358 on the season, who struck out to lead things off back in the 3rd inning.
Going to see a lot of Ks in both teams' books tonight. Checks her swing. This one's above the letters. We were talking up here in the press box a couple of innings ago, and I just simply wrote down on my reporter's pad, I think 1 run wins this game. And if the farther we get into it, the more I think that's going to hold even truer. As this one fouled away.
Yeah, we mentioned that off air early tonight that we thought the first team to score was probably that's all they're going to need. And think about this, you know, we've had 18 batters in the lineup here today for both teams. 14 of them have already struck out at least once, some of them multiple times. That's how good this pitching's been tonight.
Off speed, she found it straight back. It was a sweet-looking swing by Sigler, but again, how do you approach a pitcher that can literally throw 4 different pitches for a strike? Do you look for a certain spot in the zone? Do you sit on a specific pitch? What do you do?
Well, I think you do a couple things. I think you scoot up in the box. I think you crowd the plate to try to take away a couple of those pitches. I think scooting up in the box may take away that rise ball, may take away the drop ball. And if you crowd the plate, you're kind of forcing her to throw it over the outer third. But again, I'm not sure that'll even matter how good as these pitchers have been here tonight.
Sigler steps out and takes a couple practice swings. You do that. You step out. You don't just make yourself an easy target on the pitchers with tempo, right?
Well, you're exactly right, because, you know, the pitcher –
it doesn't really matter, though, does it?
well, there's another
strike 3.
Premier Bank strikeout, and that's going to be number 9 on the night for Hopper. But you're right, Brent. As a pitcher, you're trying to disrupt the timing of the hitter, but the hitter – nothing wrong with trying to disrupt the time of the pitcher. Sometimes asking for time, stepping out of the box, just try to get her out of her zone, which we've talked about over and over with both these pitchers here tonight.
So Laura Paul will dig in, senior third baseman. 0 for 1, struck out, looking on a nasty pitch back in the third. Hopper deals, works her inside, misses inside. Okay, 2-0. Now are you zoning up? You treat this like 3-0.
Right now, I think you're just trying to find a way to work the pitch count and just try to maybe take a pitch here. They probably won't. That's my philosophy. I think you try to find a way to get on.
This one, a liner, just foul up the right field line. She got the pitch she wanted.
Well, that's a great swing there by the 9-hole Laura Paul that time, who had to go oppo. But again, that's what you have to do against a solid pitcher. You can't just be thinking, I'm sitting dead red, I'm going to pull something hard to the left side. That time she went with the pitch. Nearly hit veteran official Max Meltzer out here.
2-1. Hopper deals. Looked like a little bit of a late decision to offer at that pitch, and it's now 2-2.
And the good thing for Max Meltzer out there, most people say he never saw it coming, so.
We'll check, and that would be 2 down in the bottom of the 5th there, Max, if you want to rebut. So this one pulls a string, slow and slower. Capital K, capital K, capital K, as Madeline Hopper strikes out the side here in the Ayersville 5th. No runs, hits, errors. Nobody left the board after that Premier Bank strikeout. A scoreless pitcher's duel. We'll head to the 6th when we come back on DCTV Sports. Good look from behind home plate in our grandstand camera as Kendra Waldron finishes her warm-ups. The strong-armed Ariel Brown goes down to second. No score here in this district playoff game between the Locomotives and the Pilots. Winner advances to Friday action. Loser will have to buy a ticket to watch. Kendra Waldron struck out just 1 in the last frame, but she got some help from her defense. She will deal to 2, 3, and 4 here. Jada Uribas, Kelsey Bum, and Madeline Hopper.
So now the 3rd time through, it gets a little tougher for the pitchers. The fact that the batters have seen the arsenal, they know what to expect.
This one slapped into center field, and McGuire will have to play it on a hop, a lead-off single for the Locos to open up the 6th.
Wow, what a great swing there by Jada Uribes, who again starting to make some of those adjustments 3rd time through, and she's now 2 for 3. But for the first time all night for either team, they have the leadoff batter on base, and who else but the dangerous Kelsey Bum at the plate.
This is your best hitter, Scoop. But do you ask her to sacrifice herself here?
She
doesn't. She swings away.
I don't think so. The thing is, she handles the bat well. She could lay down a bunt. When you do that, now you have a runner at second, and you're going to now that's a no-brainer. You're going to put Madeline Hopper on, who's a 500-plus hitter. So I think you take the bat out of her hand if you bunt here.
She was swinging free and easy and is down 0-1. Off speed, ground ball past a diving Waldron and into left field. Back-to-back singles. That was a well-placed hit by Kelsey Bum, and the Locos putting on the pressure here in the 6th.
Great job by Bum once again. You know, after striking out the first time, she's had 2 quality bats, worked her way on with a walk back in the 4th, and now consecutive hits for the first time tonight, and that brings up the dangerous Madeline Hopper, hitting .522 on the season.
She's 0 for 2 tonight, struck out looking in the 2nd, grounded out to 2nd in the 4th. Scoop mentioning hitting .507, 34 hits on the season with 27 RBI. Swing and a miss here.
A good changeup right there. You know that Hopper wants to be swinging, wants to drive home that first game, or first run, help her own cause. That time just a fantastic pitch by Waldron.
Fouled straight back, tried to change a little eye level on her.
But not just change the eye level, change the speed. Good job pulling the string there a little bit. Again, just taking the timing out of it a little bit for Hopper. And now Waldron on top, 0-2.
Waldron taking a little bit of time. Deals, got her swinging, strike 3. Boy, she has just reached back every time when she's been in trouble today.
Well, of all the Premier Bank strikeouts, that may be the biggest to this juncture here by Waldron, because, again, Hopper, the hottest hitting player in the area, gets her to strike out.
Well, you still have to deal to a .360 hitter in the 5-hole here in Lillian Mahan. 0-1 the count.
Remember, Mahan also has decent speed, so when you're on defense, you have to know the speed of the batters, speed of the runners, to know how much time you're going to have on a slow roller and a ball hit hard and so forth.
Waldron rocks, fires. That one fouled straight down, and now ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
It's just amazing how Waldron, the few times she's met adversity tonight, she's really just kind of buckled down, kind of bowed her neck a little bit, and has made some quality pitches. We'll see if she can do it again here, 0-2.
Look how deep Mahan is standing in the box as she takes high and outside.
Well, I think with the speed of Waldron, she's trying to give herself as much time as possible to get a read on the pitch. Right now, if you're Montpelier, you've got to be aggressive on the base
This
pass.
one tomahawked down to 3rd, gobbled up by Paul, steps on the bag, the throw! Not in time, almost pulling off the double play, but as it stands, the senior 3rd baseman with a heads-up play to get the lead runner. 2 down as runners remain at 1st and 2nd.
Well, great job by the Pilots. You know, first the quality pitch from Waldron, but how about Laura Paul there making sure to lead out and nearly ended that inning with a nice 5-3 double play. Instead, Mahan, as we mentioned, good wills was able just to leg that out. So it will extend the inning. And now we may have...
We're going to have a pinch hitter. Number 14
hitter.
was supposed to be Addison Dick. This is going to be a pinch hitter. This is Neriah Thorpe, a freshman, coming in to hit. So Thorpe will pick up a bat. Let's take a look at Thorpe's numbers. Hitting .250 on the season. She's taking a couple of practice swings. Boy, what a position to be thrown into. 1st and 2nd with 2 down in a scoreless game here in the 6th. And, just your season on the line.
That speaks volumes of confidence they have in this young lady right here. But you're right, what a tough spot to be in. You're seeing one of the top pitchers in Northwest Ohio who's perhaps having her best game of the season. You hear the biggest moment right now for Montpelier. Base hit away from potentially taking the lead here deep in this game.
Dealing the 1-0, and Kendra Waldron trying to stay locked in.
Well, great job by Ariel Brown to glove that baseball that was down in the dirt, not allow the advancement of 2 locomotive base runners.
The 2-0. This one a liner just off the glove of Waldron. Rounding 3rd, there'll be a play at home, not in time. Sliding in safely, Kelsey Bum with the first run of the ball game.
Oh, what a clutch hit by Mariah Thorpe that time. Pinch hitting with 2 outs. And at that time, she's able to take a fastball, drills it into left field. Well played out there by Michaela Sierra.
It was.
Who made a very strong throw to home. But the wheels of Jada Uribe, she was kind of able to outrun that softball. And Montpelier strikes first here with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
So here's Bella Ramos. 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. Same situation, runners at first and second with 2 down, but now a 1-0 ball game. That's a great stop, and still in the dirt. They're going to advance on the dirt ball read. Mahan to third, Thorpe to second. And there goes the force out at any base.
Yeah, tremendous job that time by Montpelier, being very aggressive on the base pass.
This one, a number to second, gobbled up and underhanded Eldridge to Zartman. The damage kept to a minimum on the 4-3 putout, but not before the scoreboard is finally broken. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. We will head to the bottom of the 6th. There you take a look from our center field camera. Madeline Hopper, the junior right-hander, all smiles, and why not? She's got something she hasn't had all game, the lead. We welcome you back to Bryan Field number 5, bottom of the 6th. We'll bring up the top of the order for the Ayersville Pilots. Kendra Waldron will lead it off. Michaela Sierra on deck. Ariel Brown in the hole.
We just talked about the 3rd time through for Montpelier, starting to see the softball much better. We'll see if that's true for Ayersville. As the lineup turns over, Waldron batting for the 3rd time. And there she swings and misses at a high rise to fall behind Hopper, 0-1.
Waldron 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Struck out swinging in the 1st, legged out an infield single in the 3rd. The 0-1. Maybe went after a pitch out of the zone. Make it 0-2.
Well, Hopper's done a great job of extending the zone there, changing the eye level with that rise ball. And Ayersville's had a hard time laying off tonight.
The 0-2. Waldron off the plate a bit and swing and a miss. 3 straight pitches, 3 straight strikes, 1 away.
That's the 11th Premier Bank strikeout of the night for Hopper. And once again, she's able to strike out the leadoff batter. This is the 5th out of 6 innings she's done that.
Here's Sierra digging in. First pitch swinging, fouled back. Sierra 1 for 2 with a double. Well, Scoop, if you need a run, if you need a couple, this would be the part of the lineup for Ayersville that you want coming up here. 3rd trip through in this ball game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You've got Sierra, a solid, proven hitter, and you have Ariel Brown on deck, and of course McGuire in the hole. So again, certainly more than Ayersville's capable of doing here. We've seen Ayersville this year. They scored nearly 8 runs per contest, so it's just tough to shut a team down for 7 innings. But credit Hopper, she's 5 1/3 innings in. She's done just that.
Well, the cream is separated from the crop when you get to this level of the playoffs. As the 0-2 fouled off the catcher's mask. Mahan appears to be none the worse for wear.
Well, you're right, and that's what's so intriguing about this district here at Bryan, the fact that I thought all 4 teams coming in really had a legit shot of saying, hey, this could be ours for the taking. And certainly this has proved the case here in this semifinal opener.
0-2 checks her swing on a changeup on the outer 3rd.
Well, that's a great pitch right there, 0-2. You know, she hit her spot. She may be a couple inches off the plate, but again, a competitive 0-2 pitch, but a better hold that time from Michaela Sierra.
Sierra doubled with 2 strikes in the 1st. She put the ball in play with 2 strikes back in the 3rd. She doesn't seem to have any problems with her approach, or when she goes down in the count, it's not like she locks up. And Coach Sartman going to come down the line and have a chat with her. And maybe getting a little taped up. Lila Mayhem, the catcher, it looks like she took one off the finger. They're going to Band-Aid her up or file that down, but it looks like she took a shot off a fingernail, and time now being given. The umpire saying that's not my color. And is he going to let her go back to the dugout, or is he going to make her stay? She will go back, and I'm not sure what's happening here if she's actually hurt. I think they're going to buddy tape those maybe together. She might have a little blood. I'm not sure what happened there, but whatever it was significant enough for Chris Engel to grant her time.
Yeah, and certainly she's got injury. She has the time to do that. And, again, Hopper been so dominant. But remember, this is an Ayersville team. They're not where they're at without reason. They've had a great season, 13-4. It's also a lot of girls that played on that 24-2 basketball team. So they know how to come from behind where they can get the job done against Madeline Hopper, who's just been in the zone all night, is yet to be seen. But certainly they're going to battle. And right now, Sierra trying to get another 2-strike hit, just like she did back in that first inning.
Fouled back, but she covers a lot of plate. She's got long arms, just a sophomore.
She's got a long swing, but she also has quick hands. And so she's done a nice job, of really being competitive in that 2-hole, fouling up Kendra Waldron, hitting before Arrow Brown.
1-2, just caught a piece of it. She was out on her front foot. She stays back, though. You take a look at her load scoop and on a lot of change-ups. Matter of fact, most of them today, you've seen her teammates out on that front foot, long swings, long arms. She stays back.
Well, I think most kids anywhere would have struck out on that pitch. That was not only a nasty change-up, but it had some drop to it late. But, again, she did a great job just fighting that off.
This one got her swinging as she elevated, strike 3.
Oh, that's a Premier Bank strikeout number 12 now for Madeline Hopper, who continues to deal. And right now, trying to set the Pottstown in order in this 6th inning. Right now, potential tying run, and first team All-GMC player Ariel Brown at the dish, trying to ignite a rally.
Brown entered today hitting .491. She does have some pop in the bat. She does have a homer to her credit. Right now, you're just looking to get on board and keep the line moving. Belle McGuire standing in the on-deck circle. Hopper taking her time. This is where I think Brown might be better served to step out. Now, she feels more comfortable staying in. More power to her. Oh, she was swinging for the downs there. She got one in her wheelhouse, or as you say, Scoop, nitrous zone, but she just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, she got a healthy swing on that, and that ball started out really belled high across the plate, but had just enough rise on it that Brown fights it off. But count now even at 1-1.
Off speed, this one hit hard right at the second baseman, Ramos. Boy, that got on her in a hurry, but she stayed with it and makes the play. 4-3 on the putout. And the Pilots go in order here in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Score remains Montpelier 1, Ayersville nothing. Back after this on DCTV Sports. We head to the top of the 7th. There you get a good look at our first base camera. It has been a pitcher's duel here this afternoon, but the scoreboard finally was broken by Montpelier in the last frame. They brought 1 run home on 3 hits, and right now that's been the only tally of this ball game. As Kendra Waldron's job, the young sophomore superstar in the circle, trying to keep it where it's at. As she deals to 8, 9, and then the leadoff hitters. Anna Beck, the first that she faces, she takes a strike around the knees to make it no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, these two pitchers combined, just 1 run given up and 22 strikeouts, and also just 2 walks surrendered combined by these pitchers.
Waldron deals, swing and a miss, strike 3. Another Premier Bank strikeout to open up another inning. How many does that make for Kendra Waldron?
Oh, that's Premier Bank strikeout number 11, so she continues to stay dialed in. Right now, trying to keep this game right where it's at, 1-0, trying to give her offense as much of a chance as possible for the bottom of the 7th inning coming up.
Katie Terry takes a changeup that rolls across the heart of the plate. Terry 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking in the 3rd, and a pop out to the catcher, Ariel Brown, in the 5th. 1-0, swing and a miss, looking ahead for the Pilots in the bottom of the 7th. They're down to their final 3 outs. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. McGuire, Taylor Waldron, and Addison Zartman. The 1-1, bringing a little gas. She paints the black on the outside corner, make it 1-2.
Oh, what a great pitch. The 1-1 pitch is always the biggest pitch in softball, and that time she paints it on that outside edge, had plenty of heat. And now Waldron once again on top, this time 1-2 to the junior, Katie Terry.
Terry, after brushing her hands with dirt, digs back into the box. The 1-2 on the way. Curveball just off the outer 3rd.
Had a lot of glove side run to it. It started out right on that outer 3rd, but had plenty of break to it, and a great hold that time by Terry.
That really was. So here we go again, challenging her with a rise. Got her swinging, strike 3. Another Premier Bank strikeout.
Just incredible. Both pitchers now with 12 punch out on the day. And right now, Waldron on a roll, trying to strike out the side and keep this game right where it's at.
Lila Mahan, first pitch swinging, pops it up into right field, drawing a beat on it, and Beecher will make the catch. It's a 1-2-3, scoreless top of the 7th. The focus now turns to the Pilot offense. They are down to their final 3 outs. Can they keep the season going? Stick around and find out. We've got it for you when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports. Bottom of the 7th, Ayersville down to their final 3 outs. Do they have some offense in them? They've had their opportunities against Madeline Hopper, but every time she's risen to the occasion as the young junior right-hander has finished her warm-ups. It will be 4, 5, and 6 for the Pilots. Belle McGuire will lead it off. Taylor Waldron on deck. Addison Zartman in the hole, a pair of seniors and a junior. And Scoop, it doesn't matter how you do it. You just got to find a way aboard.
What will you do? You know, we talked about how you get a few more reps. You usually have a little bit more success. But if you look at the numbers tonight, Montpelier in their first 10 at-bats, they were 0 for 10. Their last 15, they got on base 7 to 15. And now for Ayersville, their last 12 batters have not gotten a hit. They get 1 person on base. That was with a walk.
Well, again, Lila Mahan went to get her glove hands taped up an inning ago, and she was fussing with her mitt, trying to get her hands in the mitt the way she liked, and was fussing just a little bit. They threw her a couple of extra pitches. Now, home plate umpire Chris Engel looked, and I think maybe asked her if she was okay, and she said yes, but we'll wait and see. Right now, potentially an issue, maybe not, but something to keep an eye on. As McGuire digs in, first pitch swinging, fouls it back. McGuire 0 for 1 with a walk today.
And Hopper just seems to get strong as this game unwinds. She's retired to the last 8 Ayersville hitters, and 6 of the last 7 via strikeout. So she's really been locked in, and once again, she's able to get on top of McGuire, 0-1.
Taking her time, McGuire right on top of the plate. Awaits the 0-1. That one scoots her off the plate a little bit. Bounced right over her shoe tops, 1-1.
Well, that time Hopper awfully fortunate. That softball did not hit Mabel McGuire.
Yep.
Instead, it's just going to be a ball down out of the zone.
Coach Zartman asking for time. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, he got fired up about the scoreboard,
Yep.
but it's the umpire that has the official count, so it is 1-1.
It's 1-1. There. This one, a humpback liner right at the first baseman, and she hauls it in as Uribas retires McGuire for the first out.
What a great job there by Hopper once again, just completely was able to saw off McGuire there for an easy first out. But now the Pilots down to their final 2 outs.
339, the average brought into today's game by senior shortstop Taylor Waldron. She is 0 for 2, takes a healthy cup there and fouls it away.
I like how Ayersville's coming out aggressive here, looking to ignite things. And again, this is an offense, we mentioned it, hitting 344 on the season, has an on-base percentage of team north of 400. So just find a way to get that time run on base right here.
This one, a chopper back to the mound, backhanded by Hopper. Boy, she has fielded her position cleanly today. And the Pilots are down to their final out.
Oh, what a great play by Hopper getting out of the circle. Sometimes that ball is a lot of trouble because if you don't field it there in the circle, by the time that gets to Kelsey Bum at short, that's going to be an infield single. Instead, 2 quick outs. And right now, Hopper continues to deal. She's retired the last 10 Pilot hitters.
Addie Zartman 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, trying to figure out a way aboard. She got a pitch right in her wheelhouse. That rise ball maybe didn't have as much rise on it as Hopper wanted, but she's been able to get away with that pitch seemingly all afternoon long.
Well, she has. You know, again, that's kind of down the middle, but again, top of the strike zone. She's got enough velo. That one had just enough rise to force Zartman to foul it off, but a healthy swing that time by Addison Zartman.
The 0-1 off speed got her out on her front foot, and now the Pilots down to their final strike.
You talk about filthy. What a nasty changeup that time from Hopper. Again, that's that pitch Coach Robinson talked about for the game. Really starting to use here in the last 2 weeks. It's been a big part of this one hitter we've seen to this juncture, and now Ayersville down to their final strike.
The 0-2 popped up, reaching back and making the catch. Lila Mahan smacks the ball into the dirt. That's the final out of the ball game, and a 1-0 contest as Montpelier wins a fantastic pitcher's duel. They survive and advance.
Oh, what a great game between 2 quality teams here this afternoon, and you just can't speak enough about the pitching we saw from both Kendra Waldron and Madeline Hopper.
Yep.
Waldron going to be the tough luck loser as Ayersville will go down 1-0. But how about Madeline Hopper? She was lights out. That 7th inning was the only inning she didn't strike out at least a Pilot. She ends up with 12 strikeouts, gave up just 1 walk. And yet Ayersville had just 1 hit, that being that, 2 hits. One being the 1-out double in the first inning, the other one being a 2-out single by Kendra Waldron in the 3rd inning. After that, Hopper just really clamped down. And wow, what an impressive deal to shut out a very, very good Ayersville Pilot team here tonight in Bryan.
Well, you saw the emotion, especially from the seniors, as the Pilot roster walking past our third base dugout camera there, as they know the season is over, and for a handful of seniors, their career in a Pilot's uniform has come to an end. Nothing to hang their heads about, but they just ran into a buzzsaw this evening in right-handed junior Madeline Hopper.
Well, they did. You know, this is the Ayersville team that can walk off this field with their heads up high because they left everything out there. You know, there's 2 types of pains in athletic. The pain of losing always hurts, but the worst pain is pain and regret, wondering what if. And these girls don't need to have that what if because they left it all out there. These girls worked extremely hard, and they just ran into a buzzsaw tonight in Montpelier, who's playing their best softball at the right time.
We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show. I'm not sure if we will have Coach Zartman up to join us or not. Clearly, it is an emotional situation. We will hang as long as we can, but a situation here where Ayersville comes up just a bit short tonight. Montpelier 1, Pilots nothing. We'll take a quick timeout. We are back with your Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show. You're watching DCTV Sports. Well, there you take a look at a group of dejected Pilot players, not the least of which the senior class, knowing that this is the final game that they will wear the school's colors, but they have nothing to hang their heads about. As you see there, the final score, Montpelier with the 1-0 victory. They will advance to Friday action as Ayersville. You hate to say woulda, coulda, shoulda, Scoop, because both teams were playing exactly almost the same ball game. Both teams had the same opportunities. Both teams came up with great plays when they needed to. It was a mirror image of each other, both in the circle with Madeline Hopper for the Locos and Kendra Waldron for the Pilots, but just one extra hit, and who would have guessed from a freshman pinch hitter, Nariah Thorpe, who entered this evening's contest with just 7 at-bats and a .250 average, and she comes up with what ends up being the game winner.
Well, you talk about punching the right buttons. That's exactly what Andy Robinson did, kind of rolled the dice. Let's go with a freshman who's 2 for 7 on the season and probably the most crucial at-bat of the year for Montpelier, and all she does is deliver the game-winning RBI single to left field against hard luck loser Kendra Waldron, who was just masterful in her 7 innings, as Waldron was able to strike 12 locomotives out, surrendered just 1 walk, but yet she came away on the wrong end of things here tonight.
And you see, there's nothing you can say if you are Coach Bill Zartman, and I think that's a good move by our producer, Josh Bush, to pull back on that. You see the seniors hugging each other. What can you say as a coach in that situation, other than hopefully in a couple of weeks, certainly a couple of months, you'll be able to look back on what you did this season beyond this moment and be able to realize how special it was.
Yeah, this hurts everybody, but, you know, as a coach, I think the thing to say is, girls, I'm awfully proud of you. You girls really kind of raised the bar here this year. You did some really good things. You finished just 1 game back of Tenor for the GMC title. You won a sectional championship, and you're really just 1 pitch away from advancing to a district championship. But we talked about, Brent, how when you get to this level in district play, you have to be prepared, and you have to maybe get some things to bounce your way because the competition just gets so tough at this district level.
Looking down here, the Pilots left 1 aboard in scoring position in the first. They left 1 aboard in the third. They left 1 aboard after getting 2 runners on. Check that. They left 1 aboard after a walk and then an advancement by Mabel McGuire on the sacrifice. But after that, Scoop, they didn't have a single base runner over the final 3 innings. It was just, I don't want to say an unsolvable Madeline Hopper in the circle tonight, but she just came up big whenever she needed
Well,
to.
she did. You know, she got stronger and stronger as this game unwound. She retired the last 11 Ayersville hitters. And think about this as well. Ayersville, for the game, just really had 3 runners reach base. You know, Michaela Sierra with that double in the first, Waldron with that single in the third, and then McGuire with that walk in the fourth. But that's the only 3 times Ayersville was able to get on base. And, you know, this was one of those games that was won. It was not lost. I thought Ayersville did great defensively. They got great pitching. They just could not solve Madeline Hopper, who was awfully good. And we knew that coming in, that this was going to be a pitcher's duel. We talked about how it was probably going to be the first team to score wins. And unfortunately for Ayersville, that's the way it played out here tonight.
Well, again, out for out up until the 6th inning. Waldron and Hopper matched each other, but at the end of the game, and especially that 1 inning, the 6th, where they had 3 hits, they were finally able to put back-to-back hits together. It almost looked like Kendra Waldron was going to be able to work her way out of it, but the freshman pinch hitter, Nariah Tharp, comes up with the single. But, again, run through the lines for Hopper and Waldron this evening.
Well, we'll start with Kendra Walden. Again, she was masterful. She went 7 innings, and during those 7 innings, she gave up just 5 hits. But as you mentioned, Brent, Montpelier was able to string 3 of those 5 hits together, all in that decisive 6th inning where they had 3 of their 5 hits. But again, she only surrendered 1 walk. With those 12 strikeouts, she also did hit a batter. And meanwhile, her counterpart, Madeline Hopper, almost with identical numbers.
Yeah.
Hopper also had 12 strikeouts, also issued just 1 walk. But for Hopper, maybe the difference, she only surrendered those 2 hits.
Yep.
She did not allow Ayersville to string some hits together. She did not allow them to get walks and hits together. And she's moving on with her teammates to the district championship.
We're going to take one more time out. When we come back, we will put a wrap on the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. I'm watching Coach Zartman down. He's talking with a couple of people, and we certainly will respect the fact that it's always difficult to come up and do a postgame, especially not just after a loss, but when it's a season-ending loss. So we'll give him maybe a couple more minutes here, but if he does not come up and join us, we will respect his wishes. We'll take a quick time out. We are back with more. You're watching DCTV Sports. Well, back at field number 5, the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. We are going to put a wrap on it as Ayersville comes up so close, but yet so far away. A 1-run loss. It was just a pitcher's duel between Madeline Hopper for the Locomotives and Kendra Waldron for the Pilots, as Ayersville had to clear out. That's another part of the tough thing here. When there's a second game scoop, you have to basically gather up your gear and take off. It's I don't want to call it rubbing your nose in it, but you don't get any time to really sit and pontificate on things.
Well, as a coach, you never know what to say in this situation because you're expecting to move on. You're thinking we still got some more softball ahead, but we will get a chance to talk with Ayersville skipper Bill Zartman. Thanks, Coach, so much for joining us.
We'll get him a headset here. Coach, first things, class move. We appreciate you coming up. We know it is never easy. To come up after a loss is one thing. To come up after a season-ending loss is another. Let's start with that. Let's pull your mic up just a little bit.
There you go.
But there's nothing you can say in a situation like this, especially to a senior class that has not only represented the program, but the school with great distinction. How do you try and tell them to keep their head up, other than hopefully in a couple weeks, a couple months, they can look back with clearer vision and realize just what they accomplished?
You know, like you said, it's never easy. The only thing you can say is that they've represented the school well, the community well. not only on the field or athletics, but in the community as well. And there's a lot of kids that look up to them. In our youth program especially, they've seen them play since they were, 8 years old. I've coached them since they were 8 years old, so this one's
extended
tough for
family,
me.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of coaches, a lot of programs talk about that,
Yeah.
but it's different at Ayers.
It is. Our program feeds through our youth, and we try to get our high school kids involved as much as we can. And but yeah, the seniors, they've been outstanding for the school and the community. So, like you said, tough loss tonight. It's a pitcher's duel type game, and you got a one hit here, one hit there is going to decide things. So,
and Coach, I know being from a small school, you have a really close-knit bunch of kids out there. Talk about your seniors. I know it's awfully tough here to have to take off that uniform for the last time, but certainly nothing they have to hang their heads about.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, Taylor's been a 4-year starter for us, Taylor Waldron. Again, she was a kid I coached in 8U, so seen her come through the ranks. Then you got Mabel McGuire. She's a kid that played when she was in youth, and then
who you got to come back, who didn't play
she
last season.
ran track a couple years, and then she's like, man, I really wish I would have came out and played softball. So Laura Paul, she's a gritty kid. I've coached her since she was in 8U. And Leah Bunk. Those are our 4 seniors that we got. And then Maggie Wakeham, she's our manager as well, statistician, and she's a kid that's been with the group forever. And this is by far my best team I've coached from an attitude standpoint, togetherness, and that's all because of the seniors. I mean, they keep us tight. They keep the community tight. They're great kids. They've been raised well by great families. So, yeah, I can't ask for anything better with my seniors. So,
focusing on a couple of innings in particular, because I think it was that third and maybe even fourth inning, you seem to be seeing it, timing it a little bit better. You got the bat on the ball, but you just couldn't barrel up any one pitch. What made Hopper so tough today?
Well, she moves the ball. That's the first thing, in and out and up and down. So anytime you got a pitcher like that, it's going to be more of a timing thing and making adjustments in the box. And that's kind of who we are. We've had games we put 20 hits up and games we put 4 hits up, but we kind of grind. And that's who we are, and the kids adjust well in the box. And what you saw in that third and fourth, I'm thinking, okay, it's coming. We're going to get that one hit.
We were thinking the same thing.
We're just going to get that one hit, and then that's going to spark us and then get everybody rolling. But, I mean, she moves the ball, and she's got some speed. Rise ball, it just hits the top of that zone and makes the kids think it's a fastball, and it goes right over the bat. So I think that's a lot of her good, and she's got a heck of a changeup too. You saw that a couple times make us look silly, but those are the ones you just tip your cap on and smile because I mean it's a good pitch. So. And
Coach, as good as Hopper was for the Locomotives, I thought Kendra Waldron was really locked in. I thought she threw extremely well. Talk about her performance here tonight.
Yeah, I mean she was outstanding, just like Hopper was. She was a little nerved up when we played Antwerp the other night because it's a tournament game, and I was just like, listen, this is like any other game. Just show up. So from the word go, I thought she was locked in and did well. So I think she was getting frustrated on the offensive side, not getting hits, and she's kind of that kid that kind of feeds off of that. When she's doing well at the plate, she does well on the mound.
She's toughest on herself.
She is.
She's a
100%.
perfectionist.
She's her own worst enemy at times. But today she was locked in. She was moving the ball, maybe missing here and there, but they're high school kids. They're not professionals, and they're going to miss spots. So
just a sophomore. Now, I will keep our conversation. We had one probably a couple weeks ago, and it was between you and me.
Yeah.
But how much better can she get? How much higher is the ceiling for her over the next 2 seasons?
Yeah, it's pretty high, and I think she's got the ambition to push herself to get better, so that's for sure. She's a worker. She will come in on her own time with her parents and throw and all that stuff. So Aubrey my assistant coach, she played for me and pitched for me. And she's very good with working with the kids. And we have a lot of plans this summer to get some one-on-one time in with them. So.
And Coach, you talked about your seniors and what great leaders they were for you. And of course, you're just always nearly impossible to replace a class that not only had some talent, but also that leadership and that team atmosphere, so to speak. But what's your message to the younger kids that'll be back next year? I know you got a lot of underclassmen that certainly the ceiling's very high for.
Yeah, we had 27 girls come out this year, so we got numbers and volumes, so that's a good thing. all you can do is tell the kids to learn and feed off of who they are as people, who they are as student athletes, and you want to emulate that as much as you can as a student athlete.
I'm thinking of that Dick's Sporting Goods commercial where they're all putting up their final games,
Yep.
and you hear the announcer say it's tough to come this far and
Yep.
lose.
Yeah, it
it
is.
hurts.
Yep.
But you are defined in life not by how you win, but how you respond to defeat.
Yep.
And then, of course, the next line is, next season starts right now.
Right now,
And
yeah.
you see them all doing the workouts as their friends are going to the pool
Yep.
or they're going to parties. They're working out. I'm assuming you're nodding yes. That's going to be the message to everybody coming back
Yeah,
next
we got to
year.
put work in. I'm not a drive it in their face type of guy. They put their work in on their own. So the summer we only have one Acme game, so we're going to have to do more team development stuff this year, just because of schedules and stuff. But yeah, they'll show up anytime I say voluntary hitting. I got 12 kids there, 15 kids there. So it's not something to pull teeth to get them out there. If we say, hey, we have an open field, they'll be there working hard. So I have no doubt in my mind they'll step up and step in, and we'll fill shoes. It's going to be difficult. Like I said, you can't replace seniors that have been 4-year starters for you or 3-year starters. It's tough, man. So.
We appreciate the access that you have given us,
Hey,
and
no
in
problem.
particular myself, to practice, to the athletes themselves. Looking forward to next year already.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we are too. You guys, thanks for everything you guys do for the community. The kids really enjoy it. I know my grandparents enjoy it when they're able to watch it on DCTV because they can't come out to games and stuff. But they're like, hey, we saw the game. So, but yeah, we appreciate it.
All right,
So.
Coach, thank you
All
so
right.
much, and we'll look forward to it.
Thanks, guys, again.
Coach Artman coming up. Classy move to join us. Tough 1-0 score, and that will end the Pilots season as they fall to Montpelier. And on the end of the other end, I should say, of the Diamond Scoop, you've got joy because Locomotives have earned the right to wear the uniform at least one more time.
Well, they did. You know, last year Montpelier won the sectional, was ousted right away in the district, and I think that experience last year might have been maybe the difference this year. They now are advancing to the district championship, and they have to have a lot of confidence after defeating a Ayersville team that certainly was also primed for making a deep tournament run. But again, kudos to Montpelier as they win a thriller here at Bryan with that final score of 1-0.
That is going to do it for our broadcast here this afternoon. A big thank you going out to our staff, not the least of which it was a lean but mighty crew here this afternoon. Will and Josh doing the work of 6 different people, but we got it on. Folks, if you appreciate our broadcast, our coverage of area high school sports, let our underwriters know. Walk through those doors, patronize those businesses, tell them how much you appreciate them supporting us in our efforts around Defiance County and Northwest Ohio in general. That's going to do it for our broadcast here this afternoon. For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot. Final score, Montpelier survives and advances. Locomotives 1, Pilots 0. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.